This is a HeadGum podcast.
On today's program, focusing on today, Tuesday, boy, oh boy, I barely stayed awake. It's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Kevin.
Eric Siska.
And we hate movies.
No, sir, Siska.
I was smiling through that because I was trying to think of one, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do like Eric, Prince of Thieves.
I'll
know.
get a Stephen of Nottingham. There.
Eric of Siskley.
Yeah,
Sure.
There you go.
That sounds like
Siskley, I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon.
Man, you know, that fucking sheriff can eat me like a pint of ice cream, dude. He's a snack.
Uh-huh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, like we said at the top, it's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves week here on the show. The film came out in 1991. It was directed by someone who I think is a fake person. This guy, Kevin Reynolds, which I think he's just a patsy. He's done a lot of these Kevin Costner movies, and I think it's like, because then you can just say, Kevin, how about we? And Costner's listening and weighing in. I think these are all secretly directed by Kevin Costner.
I like this idea.
Did you read the trivia from the news today?
What's that?
No,
What
what
about
happened?
this one? Since Costner was one of the producers, like they literally locked the editor out of the editing place and
Good.
like recut the film. And Reynolds was like, "Yeah, that's not what I shot."
So, like, when it was released in theaters, that was, like, the boring edition.
Oh, so
I guess
weird.
so.
So Kevin Costner took a concept and even footage that could have been exciting and at a tolerable length, and then made it long and boring.
That's weird.
That's unlike my
That
friend.
is
what
not
are you
his
getting at?
MO. Not his MO, as it turns
I
out.
guess the Postman and Waterworld.
Oh, you know, I
Waterworld.
forgot we did Waterworld. So I thought this was our first trip to Costner County, but
No,
no.
I mean the same
We-
director as this supposed
Yeah.
director.
It's
of-
supposed
Yeah.
real person. I want to see some pictures of Kevin Reynolds.
There's an IMDb quote unquote photograph of this person.
doctored.
He's always got a bandana over his face, like so.
I think it's just a picture of a dude that comes with the frame.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure there's a picture of Richard Bachman back in the day, but we all know how that turned out. Did Stephen King go to jail for that or no?
What, because he took someone out of the morgue to take a photo to pose as Richard Bachman?
Now, I like
That's
this
a pretty
sharp,
creepy story.
I like this sharp photograph of Richard Bachman, but why does he have a bullet in his head?
I don't know. That Bachman gets up to some wild stuff.
Match makeup. He's a funny guy. He's a
Can
funny guy.
can I make a WHM confession?
No.
Sure.
Eric Siska, I should put some plastic down in case you shit in the studio.
Oh, no. Let me guess.
Guess.
First time?
First time.
You shithead.
I've never seen it in its entirety.
It's great. I've seen this at least a dozen times.
I actively,
easy.
I remember when it came out, and I actively was disinterested in it from the start.
Wow.
Well, you were 7, but
This,
I mean,
this movie, when this came out, enthralled me. It was like I went to a magical kingdom. I loved it from top to bottom, and I watched it a ton.
I did too. I will say that I grew up a stan of this movie.
This was a cultural phenomenon. People don't realize
Yes.
that today, but there were fucking action figures.
I
for
had
this.
those action
It
figures.
was massive. The Bryan Adams song was fucking massive.
Here's the thing. I've seen this movie maybe 3 times before, but it feels like a dozen because of the Bryan Adams fucking video, which is half footage of the fucking movie.
Yes, I hated videos like that, dude.
Eric, maybe you're the person that could confirm or deny this. The video of the movie, the video, the Bryan Adams video.
Yes, I watched
wasn't
a video.
Wasn't that on the
what?
credits of the movie? Like the movie ends
Yes.
on the VHS.
I remember this.
You're right.
And then it roll like we cut to
Oh
black,
my
and then
God.
we
My
open
heart
up on
is
the
beating
forest.
faster because I'm not even exaggerating
Yeah.
because you've just brought that back to me, and I totally forgot about that.
I
But
wanted to
that
make sure
definitely-
that was correct. 'Cause
If not in the credits, it was right afterwards.
Because I was like, oh, when I watched this on Netflix, I think I watched it like 2 years ago just to be like, what the hell was that movie? Oh, yeah, I still love that movie. And I was like, they're not going to play the video? The video's not going to come on? What am I doing?
They're not going to play the video.
What are you doing over there?
Well,
was
is it a
waiting.
thing-
Hey, Sal, you lose the video or what?
This is a question, though, because I know McDonald's in the early 90s, if you'll recall, was Costner crazy because fucking Dances with Wolves and Field of Dreams were both available in that VHS deal with like Wayne's
America
World.
was Costner crazy.
Yeah, that was the whole
No,
thing.
but do you remember what I'm talking about, though?
Oh, yes.
You
Yeah,
could
yeah,
get
yeah.
tapes
Yes.
at McDonald's. It was like Wayne's World, Back to the Future 1, Dances with Wolves, Field of Dreams, and maybe some others.
Dances with Wolves
Yeah.
at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I know. It was weird. But along with that, though, was Prince of Thieves wrapped up in that?
Probably.
Was it a specialty like VHS
I
thing?
would not be
I
surprised.
do not recall.
Collector's edition.
It was early enough. I would bet on it.
We should introduce our new segment, Eric's eBay Corner, and he
Should I go dig in the eBay right now?
I just because I've heard this spoken of
looking into
before, and I remember when the video or when the movie was coming into an end, I was like, "All right, stick around," because I've heard people talk about the Bryan Adams song is in the credit or the video's in the credits. No dice.
Somehow they didn't have the rights to the video, even though you would imagine the company would have produced the video since it's the same footage.
I think
Yeah.
It's
there was-
really fucking weird.
I think there was like a breakfast cereal for Robin Hood,
Was
and it was supposed to be arrows, but they looked like penises. They looked like a bowl of penises.
I can't.
Steve,
I
when
don't
you're
know.
pulling up eBay, by the way, why don't you
I
look
don't
for
know.
Kevin Costner's dick cereal?
Oh, okay, got it. So
I'm
this
just googling
movie,
dick cereal right now.
Well-
this movie is. It's Robin Hood. He's the Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, I will say to Kevin's thing about seeing the video 1,000 times. I did see the video a lot, fucking hard rotation on VH1, but I realized watching this that I have seen Robin Hood Men in Tights probably 30 times.
Oh wow!
Like that was we had it on tape. We were obsessed with it. And similarly, Steve, to your revisiting of this film, I popped on Men in Tights a couple of years ago, and that is one of the most unwatchable things you'll ever see.
Dude, it ruined a party that I was at. I mean, it wasn't a party, but like it was me and my now wife and another couple friends of ours. They were house sitting. They're like, "Oh, come on up for the night. We'll hang out. We'll drink beer. We're hanging out. We're drinking beer." And someone's like, "You know, it'd be cool. Put on Robin Hood Men in Tights." I'm like, "Yeah, cool idea." And me and the other guy are like, "Yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I love this movie." And everyone's like, "Ah, that's fine." We put it on, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, I want to go to bed. You want to just go to bed?" Yeah, this is not. It was just like
'Cause
around.
the movie was turning everyone on.
Yeah.
Speaking of turning on, I'll pass around this picture.
Oh, the dick cereal?
Yeah, the dick cereal.
Oh, dude, those are so dicks.
Wait,
oh,
what?
Look at
There's
the
dick
fucking
cereal, dude.
the sugar-coated cocks on that thing.
Oh my god! What? No way! Wow.
That is one
Wow.
of those, like, who signed off on that?
And you know,
It's the Prince of Thieves of my innocence.
I will
Jesus Christ! I'm
tell
eating a bunch of dicks right now.
Yeah, well, you could put some dicks in your
That
eyes,
doesn't
dude.
even look like.
Put some dicks in your eyes?
Oh
Yeah,
my
you-
sweet
Yeah,
mother!
see
They're
the bone
arrows.
of the- Okay, now
Eric,
people.
the dicks go in your mouth, dude.
This
There's
is
no
still
like chocolate pubes or anything.
no. There's no fucking chocolate. Give me that back.
Chocolate pubes.
Okay.
All right, Luxley, I'm going to eat your dick with a spoon.
All right, we're getting a little lost in the woods here. I just want to say that we will post a picture of the dick cereal to our Twitter
Yes.
page.
Absolutely. Proof.
WHM Podcast.
Doesn't look anything like Kevin Costner either. But
It was a cartoon, Chris.
it was a bad one.
So
Kevin Costner's cartoon cock. Ooh, alliteration.
we open on a tapestry. That's how you want to open up a blockbuster,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just looking at some nice patchwork.
I liked it.
Yeah, we know you did, dude.
And the opening, the theme to this, I think, was like co-opted by, bought by Disney.
yes,
Or- and
it's
or-
used in a ton of shit.
I feel like it's been. It's like Oscar like sit down music. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like everyone get to your seats. The Oscars will be beginning in 20 minutes.
but you have to cut it off before the jangling of the Bryan Adams melody, and
Oh,
that was
right.
hilarious because I wasn't paying attention, and my wife sits down and she's like, "God, it's really distracting how like the Bryan Adams song is just peppered throughout this score," and I was like, "No."
Well, I kept on being like, okay, you know what? It's okay to keep on doing it because at the end I'm gonna get the full song. When
Yeah,
it fucking-
yeah.
of course, doesn't happen.
yeah, I
I
was.
frustrating thing in the world.
I should have
song
texted
totally
every.
happens.
No, it doesn't.
At the end of the credits, yes, it does.
Oh, at the end of the credit, I didn't go.
It's
there.
like they go into the orchestration sort of plays out, and then the song takes you right up to the very
Oh.
end because you bet your ass I was waiting for that video the whole time.
They wanted me to edge too much. I couldn't edge that much.
So we open on the Crusades, which is a great place to open.
Which is amazing. Well, first there's a brief scroll saying Richard the Lionhearted left. He's at the Crusades. We take you there already in progress.
Now back to the Crusades, already in progress.
And what I love about this depiction of 1194 AD
Nice.
Jerusalem
Got it.
is it looks exactly like Jabba's palace.
Oh, it does. So much of this movie looks like Star Warsy stuff. I don't know why.
I think that's what also suckered me into this.
Yes,
you know.
Well, the opening is very Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah.
It's like this. I mean, this is like the Crusades through the Indiana Jones lens.
Ah, well, yes, Loxley, your king is the man that went missing. Instead of his dad.
Did someone say the Crusades? I heard some Muslims were murdered in that Boner town.
Now, does Kevin Reynolds exist, or should I call Kevin Costner? I need to be in this Crusades picture.
Oh, too fat for a night, eh?
Yeah, you're a full day, pal.
So we open on this. Yeah, it's a torture chamber kind of a deal in the Crusades.
Yeah, it was
something. We're cutting off hands.
Somebody's fetish palace is happening here. I
And
guess that's what Jabba's palace was.
Exactly.
It was a fetish
Are
palace.
you kidding me?
My favorite part of all this, so you see fucking Robin of Locksley, Kevin Costner. He is full Costner. It's 1991.
Yeah.
Dude, he's supposedly like been in jail for many years or whatever it is. He has on this wig and fake beard that is straight out of like he's been stuck in Jumanji. Holy shit, this looks terrible.
God.
It looks like Robin Williams in this movie. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts.
It's really silly. It's
They didn't give him a haircut, guys. Come on.
He also kind of looks like Liam Neeson in Silence.
Oh, right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Does he get a little? He gets a little bearded out in that movie at one point. Am I
towards the
remembering the right
beginning.
Liam Neeson role?
Yeah, he's in that movie. He's got a big
Well,
movie.
Andrew Garfield has a fucking mane at the end of
Yes.
that thing.
Oh yeah.
And we're just chopping people's hands off. It's Loxley's turn. He's kind of making eyes across the way at a very in shape young Morgan Freeman.
A snack.
Yeah, he was
He's a
only
bit-
he was only 67 years old when this movie.
A bona fide snack.
He's in great shape. He's like kind of buff in this scene. Actually, the rest of the movie he's dressed like a bunch of towels. Like everyone in this
Whoa,
movie,
dude, is that a slur?
No, it's not, because everyone in this movie is dressed like old laundry. Like Robin Hood is walking around in just old
I was
laundry.
about to comment how much I love the costume design.
Really?
Yes. Because what I like about this aesthetic that this whole movie's going for is it's dirty. It's
Yes.
not like you had the Errol Flynn Robin Hood, which I also hold dear.
I
as
love
well.
that movie.
I love it too.
So don't think I'm
But that's-
anti-Robin Hood.
You better fucking not be.
The Errol Flynn one is amazing.
Yeah.
I've got
And
that shit on Blu-ray.
He,
the
he's
rich boy
clean
over
as a.
here. Better steal that and give it to the poor.
He's clean.
Dude, the poor don't have Blu-ray.
They could.
Oh, that outfit
They
is dry
should.
cleaned.
Well, yeah. Whose
outfit?
In the Errol Flynn
Oh,
version,
yeah.
he's clean as a
Of
whistle.
course. Well, that's Golden
And-
Hollywood, dude.
Exactly, and this updates it to be kind of dirty and grungy, but not too much,
Well,
not too far.
He looks like he's wearing a
good
college
balance.
dorm the entire time. It's just
What is he
all
got a
these-
fucking Scarface poster hanging off him?
He kind of does. I don't know. It's so patchy.
you, Robin of Reservoir Dogs poster.
Well, listen, it's a looser cut because it's 91, and because you're fighting in this clothing,
it's true.
dude. You got to be like one
A
of
lot
those
of loose belts. Have as many loose belts as possible.
I'm going to hide under a pile of coats, and then everything will be fine.
That's what he's doing. He's hiding under a stitched pile of coats.
All right, so he gets out of Jerusalem.
Well, there's this big thing. He saves Morgan Freeman's life. They all get out of Jerusalem. There's this third dude there who is Marion's brother, Maid Marion's brother.
Peter.
Hey, it's Peter.
Hi, I'm Peter. Could you tell my sister that I'm sorry and I'm going to die?
Oh, it's like Pete Best. He was almost
right.
in the Merry Men. Made some decisions to get cut out.
By the way, the first of many, it begins with like this guy whose hand gets cut off and he's like, well, here's try to get courage from Allah. And then Kevin Costner pointedly says, well, here's English courage before he gets the guy to chop his...
Oh yeah, there's a
Right,
little
right.
little dig.
This
Yeah.
movie actually is, and I was reading some stuff on it, and I mean, Freeman, for a Muslim character, is really well represented. Like he's a good guy through and through. And like, but he's always a Muslim. Like he's never like, it would be fucking shitty if he converted or something in the middle of the movie.
All of a sudden, there's this baptism scene or some shit.
Yeah, it would be shitty because then it would be a shitty movie instead of a very good movie.
I did appreciate it. Like, it's down to like there are multiple scenes in this movie where Morgan Freeman's like refusing alcohol. Like it's an actual thing, and it's not just him being like, I'm a Muslim, moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they actually take time to sort of map all that out. He's mentioning Allah quite a bit in the film.
And he's shown to be like the smartest one of all. Like they do a lot with it.
It was really
nice.
weird though when they had the depiction of the Prophet Muhammad came down and visited them.
That was
right.
weird.
Yeah.
That was really
I don't
weird.
think they should have depicted him.
And you know what? Animated too.
Yeah. I don't know.
What I didn't appreciate though, it's the first of a laundry list of them in this film. Morgan Freeman's accent. Put that in the fucking Staten Island dump, dude. That thing sucks a dog's ass.
It's in and out. He didn't give a shit about this movie so clearly.
Which it's crazy though. Like clearly, several of them did not.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for such a massively budgeted film, that's very surprising. Christian Slater, who I love. Terrible in this movie. Terrible, dude.
Top to
What,
bottom.
dude? That voice that he's doing, this English accent. Now I know
Is he doing an accent?
He's trying his best.
Whenever Kevin Costner's involved, Eric has rose tinted glasses. We know this.
I do.
We know
it's
this.
weird that I kind of do. I think it's just because I was young at the time and I kind of grew up in a Kevin Costner world.
What's your take on Bull Durham there?
It's fine.
Yeah,
I like
Some
Bull
people
Durham.
go.
I'm just kind of okay with it.
People go crazy about
People
Bull
go
Durham,
crazy
and
about it,
I'm
that's
not one of them.
Okay.
That's a movie that I was like. Sometimes films enter the Criterion Collection, and I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That when Bull Durham entered the Criterion Collection, I was like, slow fucking month.
I
like
guess.
Bull Durham, but like, what are
Yeah.
we doing?
It's good, but
What are we
like,
doing?
Okay.
I know for a fact there's probably some obscure Japanese filmmaker
I'm
who doesn't get a
sure.
fair shake.
There should have been
sure.
like an E2 Mama Tambien or E2 Mama Bull Durham cut where they all get into bed together and figure it out.
Exactly. That's what it
Now
needed.
we're talking.
Now we're
That's
making a movie.
That's the Costner cut I'm looking for. So we make our way. We escape out of this prison. They hilariously face smash some fruit because they're starving, which it was a scene I loved. I love someone. Morgan Freeman just like breaks open this melon and they just fucking start eating it out. It's awesome. Oh, pardon me. Well, you knew what I mean.
Yeah, we cut to Brian Blessed writing a letter, and man, it is like Dad is writing a letter. He is going to town on this letter.
Did you guys notice behind him on the wall there was a medieval painting of Kevin Costner?
Dude, I wanted to mention it because it is the funniest
It's my favorite
fucking thing.
It
And
is
I have
hysterical.
to say, it's great because this is like pre-Renaissance,
Yeah.
right? So like, art is terrible.
Yeah.
And this is so, you know what it reminded me of? When that fucking crazy art world story came out where like, somebody was hired to restore some classical painting.
Yes, I think it was in Spain, and it was a portrait of Jesus that someone then was going to restore.
And then like they fucked it up so much it looked like a portrait of a cartoon rhesus monkey.
Oh, come on.
It's one of the funniest art debacles of all time.
I mean, you look at a painting of an animal, a dog or a cat, pre-1971, you're in trouble.
but this fucking portrait of Robin of Locksley hanging on this dude's wall is atrocious, and it's hilarious.
You know what? Christmas is coming up, everybody. Looking for something to get me? Get me this.
And Brian Blessed's just like, this, that, and the other thing. And he's
Where
like,
do I know this dude from?
Cripes. It's
Oh, you
I
know
know
who? You know where I know him from?
Uh-huh.
He's the voice of the Frog King from Star Wars.
Wait,
the Prince of Boss Nass.
Boss Nass. Wow, and
Yeah,
the Phantom
that's-
Menace.
yep.
Wow, holy shit.
Under the sea.
Yep.
That's a fucking deep pull, Cabin. Well done.
I want to say...
That's unfortunate. That's what he's known for.
yeah,
no,
there's
he's
more
been
than
in a bunch
Well,
of shit.
you know what he's about to be known for? And I think this is kind of hilarious, dude. Once you're in the Hoodoverse, you can't escape it because in this new piece of shit movie that's coming out,
Yeah.
he's playing fucking Friar Tuck.
He's in it?
He's in it. He's
Oh
playing
my
Tuck.
God.
I looked him
No,
up.
no.
He's not playing Tuck?
That's the fucking asylum version of the Robin Hood he's in.
No.
yeah,
That's
he's
even
not-
worse.
Are you kidding me?
I'm
Wait,
right.
wait, wait.
Yeah, I'm not
Hold on
kidding
a
you.
second. There's an asylum version
Yeah.
of Robin Hood. Okay.
What? I
Where
saw
can I see
2018.
this?
I assumed it was the new
No,
one.
It's a new one. It's just not going to be in theaters.
Get out!
It's
of
not the Antifa one that's coming out in theaters.
Oh my God, he's in a movie called it's a short film called Santa's Blotto, where I think it's Johnny. He's getting a little drunk on
So
Santa.
Santa Claus is getting drunk. Wow, great message for children.
Oh, Kevin, you're totally right, dude. Robin Hood, the Rebellion.
Nice.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
This stars no one.
I'm watching this.
Oh, you know who's in it, though?
Brian Blessed.
Fuck, well, yes, but fucking Hodor.
Oh yeah, of
Really?
course. Don't worry, Hodor is under contract, like an old school.
Well,
like,
what else can you do besides being a
it's-
hulking medieval brute?
I'm looking up the dude who's playing Robin Hood in this atrocity. His name's Ben Freeman, and he's been in nothing.
Yeah.
Of note, anyway. Oh, wow, Cabin. Good save, man. You just saved some fucking tweets from being sent. I'll tell you that much.
Because I think it's either Jamie Dornan or fucking Jamie Foxx who is Friar Tucker.
No, neither of them are.
Antifa.
Jamie Dornan is,
And that's
Will
a
Scarlet.
contractual sex man?
yes.
Okay.
And then Jamie Foxx is a character who I think is just a Morgan Freeman kind of character.
okay.
Actually, wasn't Brian Blessed the bad guy in Flash Gordon?
Yes.
There we go. That's
But so he's like, he gets pulled. This guy comes to his castle. Duncan, his loyal servant, is like, "Hey, some dude's here to see you." He's like, "Yeah, they want you to come outside real quick. They stole my car. Oh, they stole my hubcaps." He's like, "They did what to your car?" And he like kind of gets in this. He gets all knighted up and he goes outside.
Who's fucking with my friend's car, man? I'm coming out. You fuck with his car. Hey, shut up, you piece of shit. I'm trying to sleep. You fucked up Ricky's car.
I was thinking that I could see this being like Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Like, let's update it a little bit.
Yeah, you're totally right. By the way, in from the internet ticker, Jamie Foxx, Little John.
Oh, is it? Oh, weird.
Well, the ticker doesn't lie.
Oh, okay.
It's the IMDb, straight from the IMDb. F. Murray Abraham.
So God damn it, who's he playing?
He's just playing the Cardinal.
Oh, great. So, okay. We
Yes.
ride outside the castle. Well, Papa Loxley does. And he's surrounded by what looks like the Ku Klux Klan.
They do, yeah.
But
Big time.
they are wearing Eyes Wide Shut masks.
Yes.
It's amazing.
came from an orgy.
Yeah, dude, Fidelio, Prince of Thieves. Like, here comes, and they're led by one of the masks comes off, and they're R.I.P.D. the fucking glorious Alan Rickman,
Sure.
as the sheriff of Nottingham. But I'm sorry, you introduced this like cult-esque costume party
Yeah.
shit, and then never again
Yo.
do I see that in this
Well,
movie.
there's this subplot of devil worshipping that goes nowhere.
yeah.
They needed to fucking double, nay, triple down on the devil worship in this movie.
Well, it is a great addition to this film from this. Like
Yes.
it's not doing the it's not like Basil Rathbone out there with fencing.
No.
We have devil worshipping sheriff of Nottingham, King John or whatever that replaces Richard while he's gone. Not even mentioned in this movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh right, yeah, you're totally.
We're
right.
just doing
He's
this
the-
military coup.
He's the
basically.
lion in the what do you call it there? The
Witch in the Wardrobe.
the Disney Robin Hood, the lion that sucks his thumb. That's Prince John.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Which
Oh
is
right,
also,
yeah, because
which
he's
is
like a
also
fucking
good.
idiot, right?
Yeah.
Which is also good. We watched that recently.
that
and it's
is
good.
Dude, that movie is the Genesis event for fucking furries, man. Like that is the Genesis device.
Oh shit! The Klingons are going to steal it and then launch it into a planet that has no furries and create a furry planet.
And it will truly be a planet of furries.
You can't put it out in 4K. You can't do it.
It's just, I mean, now Zootopia has
Oh
usurped
man!
it,
And
but
there
like,
just happened to be Spock's corpse was on that planet, so he's resurrected as a furry.
Captain, I'm a sexy fox now. Captain, look at my big fox dick.
I'd rather not.
Jim, it makes no logical sense. I mean, he's got a fox's dick.
you green-blooded furry.
Look at the fox's dick. Remember that song?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Love it.
That
No,
was-
so
Okay, what happens in this movie?
they killed a dad, and then
It's a really, I'm sorry, but Mr. Loxley's murder here, Lord Loxley, is kind of pathetic because this motherfucker is on a horse and all these clan members just like descend on the horse. It's the slowest thing. Like, just ride out of there.
Look, they need a body to fuck on back at the mansion.
Gotcha.
They can't just be like
Wait,
hanging
whose
out
mansion?
there at the mansion that
did-
they're at.
Oh, wait.
The sheriff's mansion.
The sheriff's
Well, they don't bring his body back to the
No,
sheriff's
I'm saying
mansion.
they're gonna fuck on his corpse.
Okay, yeah.
In his house.
I thought it was decaying earlier, but I guess it was just caked with cum.
Yes.
So we do
One
see
can
it,
die that
we
way.
see it hanging in a cage, and it looks a little white.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Chris is onto something here.
No, he's not.
Slather it with your seed.
Oh my God.
Spackle his eyes.
Okay, this is very now it's okay. So they're devil worshippers. They kill Lord Loxley. They leave his loyal servant Duncan alive, but they sew his eyes shut.
Yeah.
I don't understand why why leave a witness like this.
It's a great question. I mean,
I guess they didn't assume that Robin would come back
Now-
from the Crusades.
Now you should be called Loxley the Lathered.
oh my.
I think the move there, Eric, is like, oh, how hilarious will it be? This dude will eventually just die. No one foresees Robin getting
That's
out of
right,
the
yeah.
crusade. So
But I
it's
mean,
like,
it's-
it's a really cruel, like,
Yeah.
we're going to sew this motherfucker's eyes shut and just leave him for dead, wandering
it's 4
around
months.
blind.
It's not like he comes in the next day. It takes a while for
Wait,
Rob to show up.
They take this land and they do nothing with it. It seems
Yeah.
like they just let this derelict wander it with this corpse.
Where is his serfs and all that? You know,
Great question. I think
were they lathered too? Were they
Probably,
taken
or
and lathered?
taken back to the kingdom.
Right.
too shall get a lathering.
Dude, I don't know.
lather them all.
Might be fun to live under the sheriff.
So yeah, Robin comes back with Asim with Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh yeah, did you? What is F. Murray Abraham in it now?
no, I was caught up because Steve was talking about how in the Disney movie, Prince John is like the thumb-sucking lion,
Sure.
and I was like, who the fuck was that in the Mel Brooks movie? And it was actually an
Richard
amazing
Lewis.
performance of Richard Lewis in that movie. Oh, I
He's
love
great
Lewis,
in that
man.
movie.
He's fucking great. I'm sorry.
He's a smoothie. Definitely a smoothie.
So Robin shows up. He finds his dad caked in cum. He's really upset about it. And then the best thing is like Duncan comes in. He's like he's in shadow, and he's like, Master Robin. He's like, hey Duncan, hey servant, Duncan. He's like shoving this old man. He's like, why don't you cut my dad down? What the fuck's going on, Duncan? Hey Duncan.
Well, yeah, this is after what is about 20 minutes of grab-assing
Well, yeah.
before they actually get to the castle.
Well, right. Is this where they chase off some of the sheriff's men?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, his
So-
cousin
right.
is right here.
Yeah.
Right. The guy of Grinsbourne or whatever, who's
Yeah.
played by Michael Wincott.
Michael Wincott, the great Michael Wincott.
Right.
Michael Wincott.
It's his new favorite holiday.
You'll know him as
The bad guy from The Crow. I just
Yes.
referenced him.
Yes. He also plays almost the same character in a movie that is terrible that I've probably seen just as many times.
Crow City
Is-
of Angels.
Metro?
Is worse. No, is the Three Musketeers,
Ooh.
which is
Oh,
very
yeah.
informed by this
Ooh,
movie.
Is that which one?
Which one is?
Is
Oh,
that
is it
the Kiefer
Wait,
Sutherland?
Kiefer
Yes,
Sutherland one.
Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen,
Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt, and Chris O'Donnell. It's a fucking full house.
Wait a second though. Which
Rebecca
one?
De Mornay.
Yes.
Which one
just-
am I thinking of though? Wait, is it the Oliver Platt one? Because I'm confusing fat guys. I think is the thing. Because Oliver Platt is fat,
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
but so is
Gerard
Depardieu.
He's in The Man in the Iron Mask. I believe.
Okay,
Yes.
which one of them tries to hilariously hang themselves in the beam breaks?
That's The Man in the Iron Mask. That's the darker one.
Okay, so that's Gerard Depardieu doing that. Fucking stay tuned in a half for that movie.
Both of us, we might have a Musketeer month. That might
We could. I
I
think there-
canceled
Yeah,
the
the
show.
new one.
Wait.
The new
Yeah.
one by the Underworld director is quite stupid.
who's in that? Like Christoph Waltz? Was he in something?
Oh, The Musketeer? Are you talking about that
no,
one?
no. The
Oh.
It's Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh fuck! I totally forgot about that one.
It's all nougat, dude.
There's
Ray
so much
Stevenson,
swashbuckling.
I think, maybe.
So he's shoving this old man around. He's like, the fuck's going on, old man? He's like,
Well-
but they took my eyes, Master Robert.
Doesn't
To
Morgan
be
Freeman
fair-
point that out though?
Oh, yeah.
yes, he's like,
I'm sorry, sir. His eyes have been.
Where's my hot cider and porridge, huh?
Hey, my boots are fucking still on me. Why aren't you taking them off, serf?
okay, yeah, exactly, because Robin Hood has traveled a long way to get there, and that's a piece of his property.
That's true.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like him getting home and turning on his Xbox or whatever.
Listen, you're totally right, man. There's nothing more frustrating than coming in off the road and shit at home is not the way you want it to be.
Yeah,
Very
So then
frustrating.
he grabs this old man and he's like blowing in the cartridge, and it takes
His eye holes.
and it takes Morgan Freeman to be like, there's no controller. What are you doing?
That's unplugged.
There's
This-
nothing here except for that cum corpse.
This is also after we were mentioning.
So that's how they do it in England. I see.
Weird. Sheriff of Nottingham's cousin, dude from The Crow.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing where like they're all fucking bullying this child, which is
Sure, yeah.
hilarious. But this is some data, and initially I was like, "Oh, okay, movie," because this is where Kevin Costner grabs a fucking crossbow from one of these dudes and starts shooting faces,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we're fucking up cops in this movie, which is great. 'Cause that's
more or
what-
less.
That's what these guys are.
Corrupt cops,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. And then the movie goes back to sleep for a little bit. But I did want to mention the face shooting.
So they bury his dad, and they're like, well, let's go next door over to the Mackenzies and see what's going on over there. Well, it's just actually Maid Marian's house. And it takes them an hour to get there because, you know, it's a lot of land.
You have to
course
walk
it does.
everywhere.
And
Oh,
they
there's
get,
horses.
and there's
guess,
this
but-
weird, like, scene that takes too long, big surprise, wherein, like, he gets to Maid Marian, and it's her servant who's this, like, bigger woman that everyone's, like, throwing up at. Like, she like,
Well, yeah, it's revealed that she is Maid Marian, right? And
Yes.
it's a misnomer there. It's a little. They do a little swap here.
Kevin Costner has a wonderful take of "You're looking well."
he does.
You're looking, oh, God, you're looking so well.
Yeah, because it's just like,
Oh, you've aged.
I believe what he says is time has treated you well. To which this woman is like, fucking yeah, right.
Come on.
You're so full of shit, Robin
Take
of
the
Locksley.
butter off the roll, buddy.
He
I don't know-
swears to protect her, but then she has her own protection.
Yeah, dude, this masked assassin jumps out of the shadows.
What is this scene? It never comes up again. Marion turns into olive oil immediately after this scene. The entire
That's-
movie,
Right.
That is true. I think it is. We're not quite there yet with
Yes.
having a heroic female role, but we'll show that she can handle her own in one specific circumstance that'll never happen again.
She's dressed like a ninja. She looks like enter the ninja level ninja.
It's pretty awesome because this exchange right here happens. She is unmasked. It's actually Maid Marian, Mary Stewart Mastrantonio. And right here, the first of two grade A fucking nut kicks in this movie. She fucking kicks Robin Hood right in the dick, and this dude goes down like a sack of potatoes.
See, it's a great movie. They got nerds. got nerds trauma.
Yeah, dude, nerd trauma, you're up in the ranking for me. I don't know. We'll see what I can
He's-
work through
dude,
by the end of this.
He like coughs his nuts up out of his mouth. It's great.
They kind of flirt a little bit. The cops come.
There's also a weird thing here that's not entirely ever revisited either, where she talks about how she's been taking in all these suffering people from
sure.
around the town, and they're living like in her little compound. So she's kind of like this, this good person in the community, but they never bother to revisit that.
Well, I guess it establishes the need for it and how then Robin basically starts his own civilization in the woods that
Right.
becomes humongous.
They never really do a lot of giving to the poor in this movie. I mean, they make a society, but it's
Yeah.
not so much like I stole gold, then I give it to
He's
these people.
hoarding it.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
kinda.
that is the thing is he's keeping the gold because he knows what to do with it better than anyone else.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah,
That's
you know,
true.
I
Sounds
got
great.
some investments going, and then but he'll give you like porridge.
Yeah.
You know, you come live in his Jonestown, and he'll give you some porridge
Dude.
and some music.
Jonestown is very right. It's like if Jonestown was formed on the forest moon of Endor, because they are living like Ewoks in this movie.
This is some McAfee shit, man. Everyone's sleeping in hammocks, getting shit on.
You're right. Like this whole movie is Return of the Jedi, which is why I like it a lot.
Wasn't that McAfee dude fucking chickens?
Is that true?
So what? Who?
John McAfee in
Is
that documentary?
The antivirus guy?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he turned out to be like fucking crazy, and I think one of the things was he or one of his associates fucked a chicken.
I do know that.
I believe it. Keep fucking that chicken.
Oh yeah, dude, Ernie Anastas.
Because I first heard about this movie from my dad, and my dad was like, "Did you see this movie about John McAfee?" I was like, "No." He's like, "He gets into a hammock." Or he's like, he's like look at this, no other context of it. What he's like, he gets into a hammock, he lays in the hammock, and then he poops on a woman. I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait, that's it. That was it. I was like, well, now I got to see it. I got to see it.
The hammock district, that's down on 3rd.
Oh, she gets in the hammock and poops on you. Your dad's movie recommendations, man, are like on a scale of 1 to poops on a woman. I love it.
So they go into the woods. The sheriff.
Wait a second.
Wincott
I'm
won't
sorry.
follow because it's haunted or some bullshit.
Oh, well, the haunted Sherwood Forest, of course. But there's one thing we cannot skip over because it's very funny to me. Is Robin Hood being confused by a telescope?
Oh, yeah.
When Morgan Freeman like has these little lenses and he makes this little telescope, and then he's like, "Look, they're just over the ridge over there. Take a look for yourself, Robin." And he looks through this thing and he has no fucking conceivable idea of what's happening, and he's trying to like hit his sword at the air.
Yeah.
It is the funniest thing.
It is perfect because these people were so stupid. I mean,
Inbred monsters.
Exactly, especially the royalty, and they're still the inbred monsters to today. I saw those royal weddings. Yikes. But yeah, it's just it's Nightmare Town with this guy.
But so as Steve was saying, yes, then the cops come again. Robin Hood, quick slap on Marion's ass. By the way,
sure.
Before they fucking 86 it to the haunted forest.
A little grab ass. Yeah, you got to show you're interested.
It's the Clinton era.
Her cover story is they're stealing they're stealing her horses.
Sure.
And that gets her cleared with the cops.
Yeah, and like that gets Michael Wincott like semi hard. He's like, "I'll save her for you, Maid Marian."
It's a weird thing though because her reaction is like she like laughs at his whatever the lecherous comment is and smiles, and then like Michael Wincott is nowhere within eye shot, and she's still just smiling and laughing. And
she might be playing the field a little bit. Maybe there's something there.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
That guy turned out to be a scumbag, though.
Did Michael Wincott?
No, the character.
Oh, well, the
that he
character for
played.
sure, yes.
I'm sure Michael Wincott's a very nice guy.
The villains of the film are the villains of the film.
I got that. So yeah, we go there. This is when we meet Little John, classic character.
Classic character.
Classic character.
This guy playing him, he's since passed away, I believe. But in this,
Everyone's dead.
That's true. A lot of people are dead,
crazy.
dude.
This guy was like 30% tree. This man.
He looks like fucking Sweetums from the Muppets, dude. This guy, I don't know what is going on, but I don't know who this actor was, but he has like these piercing blue eyes. Like, what a presence this dude is in this movie, honestly.
He's not enough Little John, actually, I thought.
Yeah, no, there's like the Little John domestic scare, like sort of towards the end of the movie. But yeah, it should be way more than this.
Well, no, because everybody has Kevin Costner fever, and what do you need to give them sustenance?
That is a good point.
But
that is a good
Costner, more Costner.
Costner. We do get a little bit of the Slate Man here, when he's calling out from the woods.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
There was an old man from because I've seen this movie a million times. There was a man from Nottingham who tried to cross the river. He lost his way and Now look at him shiver.
Yes,
that's right.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? The Slate Man?
Slater, dude.
Christian Slater,
That's
man.
what
the
Scarlet.
Slate Man.
Who is clearly in this movie.
Oh, I'm sorry,
to get
you don't know him as well as I do, I guess.
Dude, I thought you were talking about like some sort of fucking creepypasta Slender Man story.
He's made out of stone.
I was like, oh, I haven't heard the one about the Slate Man.
The Slate Man, yeah. He'll get you to use a sledgehammer on your sister or whatever.
Yeah, read online news.
I'm so glad those girls are doing
Right,
time.
there's a website. There's a website called Slate, I guess. Right? That's a website.
Yes, it's a website.
But Slater's here clearly to get some preteen buns in the audience.
Dude, this is a 1991 Christian Slater. Hachi
Mission accomplished.
Teen beat all over the place. They're like, go see a movie with your dad, you know?
And Dad can just enjoy his fucking little arrows and swords movie. And you, as the teen beat reader, can enjoy seeing Happy Harry Hard-On in a new motion picture.
Exactly.
Unwashed and throwing knives.
And I've always been right in the middle of that. Always been right in the middle of that. So this is the perfect film.
Slater's awesome, though, man.
He
I
is.
really wish he was doing more in this movie. Because the other thing, on top of his...
I'm glad he's doing as little. He's really bad in this
Listen,
movie.
on top of that reprehensible accent, he's barely in this movie. There's like a solid 60-minute stretch sans the Slate Man.
I think that's probably like Chris's fan theory, which I now subscribe to, where Costner locked the editor out and made this Costner cut.
Yeah.
Because Morgan Freeman disappears for large swaths of the movie. Rickman, who there was supposedly tensions on set because Costner thought he was being upstaged constantly by Rickman.
Because fucking Alan Rickman...
Alan fucking Rickman!
And I'm sorry to sound disrespectful, but Alan Rickman dead is a better actor than Kevin Costner. And Kevin Costner's entertained me in some things, but the fucking Rick Dog, dude.
Got to tell you, there's that movie Criminal with Kevin Costner that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. It's a stay tuned and a half.
What the fuck is that?
All of them. Is that the Ryan Reynolds one?
Yeah. He
it's
like
pretty
swaps
bad.
brains with Ryan. Ryan Reynolds dies.
Oh, right.
And he's
It's
a secret
insane.
agent.
It's
They put,
nonsense.
like,
Dude, that was a movie that they released with their tail between their legs. They so silently released that movie and hoped nobody noticed.
I noticed. Oh, I noticed.
Here's the thing, because I've never seen it, so I cannot weigh in, but I heard warring sides of this argument that the film Mr. Brooks was a good movie.
It's
I
not
never
good.
saw it.
Because it's him and fucking Dane Cook, is
It
that
is.
right?
Dane Cook. Wow.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long
It's
time.
very bad. It's not good.
Yo, did you see that thing about Dane Cook? He's dating like a fucking 18-year-old girl.
Yep.
Is he
That's
really?
pretty cool.
And they were
Yeah.
like friends in quotation marks when she was 16.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, they were just buds.
Okay. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not.
sold out Madison Square Garden doing stand-up comedy.
Recently?
No,
Yeah,
no.
of course.
Oh, no, sir.
Like fucking 10 years
Okay.
ago.
The teen girl has a better shot at selling out Madison Square Garden.
So yeah,
Slater.
Slater. Well, then he fights Little John. He gains his trust, and he's like, "Well, now I'm your leader forever and ever. And I own your soul." And he's like, "Well, sounds good to me, Robin."
This was very weird. I appreciated it because this fight scene features Kevin Costner falling off a series of waterfalls.
And what's crazy about it is Kevin Costner in this sequence is just like best 3 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's have a rematch. Every single time.
You're
the dude
totally right.
the dude takes his like amulet he got from his daddy and he keeps on failing until finally he beats this dude once.
Yeah.
Give me my daddy's amulet. Give it back to me.
You point that gun away from my dad. Get that amulet away from my dad.
Oh man, Chris Penn, Robin Hood.
Chris Penn, maybe Friar Tuck.
I don't know about that either, man. That guy, I mean,
Little John, little John.
is that Lawrence Tierney?
Yeah, Lawrence
looking at
Tierney.
his black book.
Got Little John's big dick coming on my left here. And
Isn't this
Lawrence Tierney would have been put to good use in this film.
oh,
I bet.
absolutely.
Oh, of course.
He could have played that dude who got his eyes
He
cut
could have
out.
played a castle.
Grumble, I'm a castle.
All right, I'm lowering my drawbridge. Hope you're happy.
For her, not you, Costner. For her.
Oh, also, by the way,
Look
in
out
this-
for that moat. You don't touch her when you're within these walls, Buster.
You know, there's a monster in that moat. I don't even know what it is.
What's
somewhere-
with that jacket's lining? Pink. You're wearing a pink jacket.
Somewhere in this falling down a series of waterfalls, the second solid fucking nuts kick of the movie happens.
Oh, right.
Kevin Costner, because they're like pole fighting.
Yeah.
They both have these
two
huge
quarterstaffs. Yeah.
Oh, pardon me, Steve. Jesus Christ. Guys, I'm sorry. They're quarterstaffs. But he fucking takes one of these rods, dude, and nails little John right in the fucking balls with it. Man. And he falls down.
Yeah, I think that's the coup de grace. I think that's the one
That's the one that does it, dude.
Well,
Sweetum's face down in that river.
Because again, like Eric says, he's like, all right, you want your amulet back, you want to cross this river, you're going to have to beat me in a fair fight. He's like, will do. I lost. Okay, let's try it again. And he finally kicks this dude in the nuts and like tries to drown him. The dirtiest play ever. And he's like, well, you're my boss now forever.
It's so weird how the merry men just turn over control of the haunted forest.
Well, we get to drinking after this. We're having a campfire.
Sure.
There's this my favorite character in the whole movie. They're all like, I'm Little John. That's Will Scarlet. And then there's this like guy who's just like,
I think inmate
like,
C3 5.6.
This guy's amazing.
Like Long Pete or something or whatever his name is, and they're like, oh, why do they call you that? You're not that tall. And he's like, yeah, but I'm long enough of ways, and he makes a big dick.
Grabbing his like groin.
It's not just grabbing. This man is about to take out his penis.
He's suggesting to show it to Robin.
Yeah, and here's the thing. One, the rest of those merry men have seen this dude's dick
course,
1,000
countless
times. That's his fucking party trick, and I gotta give it to this guy. Dude, whipping it out right in front of a campfire? Good Lord. Fucking chocolate
Dude,
pubes? How about some charred pubes?
This guy probably like stirs the stew with it, man.
Well, and also
ladles it out.
We are not in the time of showers.
Yeah. Oh,
also,
dude. Yeah.
The time of showers.
What does that have to do with burning your fucking Johnson on a campfire?
Well, just because
It's a dirty dick.
Yeah, whenever it takes out the dander will just come out.
Dude, there's like moss and leaves growing off of it. It just fucking catches on fire.
Yeah, you ever
it's like
try?
a forest
It's
fire.
got like
dick.
dreadlocks at that point.
You ever try?
you can prevent pubic fires.
You ever try to like you have like a linty sock and you have a lighter and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna burn some of the lint off of the sock?
No,
That's
no,
like
I
dick.
haven't.
No, I'm not a bored 12-year-old.
I didn't do that yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, the amount of times in college I would walk in on Steve and he'd just have a lighter, like, look at the flame. Look at the flame. Look at the flame. No.
And then you bent your ass up over.
No, I never tried that one.
I never
All right,
tried that either.
Straight dope right here. Who tried to light a fart on fire?
This guy did.
Chris Cabin raised his hand.
I totally tried.
Wow.
Whoa,
Failed
holy
horribly.
fuck.
Yeah.
Half of all podcasts have tried to light their farts on fire.
Okay, so that's good. So all right. So Andrew did, Chris did, I didn't, Eric didn't, Ira Glass did,
Yep.
Mark Maron didn't,
Absolutely.
Ezra Klein didn't.
Sarah Koenig did
Right.
for sure.
See, actually, Mark Maron tried, but Powie just shit his pants. That's all that happened.
Kevin Smith definitely did.
All the Pod Save America guys did.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it goes on like that. But
and I'm like that. Amy Nicholson never did. You think she would have, but she never did. Never did.
So, Chris, did it work?
It did not.
So maybe it's
God
just
is
like
a
an urban
lie.
legend.
was it just a failed experiment, or do you have to go to the hospital or something?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It just nothing happened. Was it like a good was it like a I was gonna say barn burner, but it didn't burn. But like was it a good like wind punch of a fart?
Yeah, I had been,
Like the methane has to catch the air.
Could it have like knocked over a house of cards?
Yes,
well,
that's
I
a
had
good
been
metric.
I had been working with a group of scientists for 5 days beforehand, preparing for this, as you know, Eric, as I've told you many times before, and I was consulting a personal dietitian as well to
Right.
make sure I had the right amount of beans and cauliflower to make.
Is that Kevin Spacey's backstory in Pay It Forward? Is that what happened?
I think that's the real backstory. He made up some yada yada abusive father, but that dude just tried to light a fart on fire and everything went horribly
It was
awry.
just a huge ass fart. It was just like
Yeah.
crazy fart.
He was trying to do it for Spencer Breslin, and then
So just fizzle, not even a flame.
no.
Andrew,
No, yeah, it didn't work.
Just nothing. Just
No,
nothing.
I think it was my problem too. Was I was like, it was just like a little squeaker,
Oh yeah.
and then I was
You
like,
need
this
to-
is stupid.
So it couldn't knock down a house of cards.
No, and then I probably just went out back and huffed pain or
You know,
whatever,
honestly,
whatever I was
you
doing
probably-
as a preteen.
You probably need like enough strength to like knock over dominoes, get that going.
Oh, I
You
see.
know?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably the metric.
Well, that's like the dude in like Jackass 3D. They have that one, their buddy who's like the master farter or whatever.
Sure.
But all they have that dude do is like shoot a blow dart at a balloon that Steve-O's got up his ass.
That makes
there was
perfect
no lighting farts on fire in the whole sequence.
Well, that
But
just
that's
seems-
more
that's-
skill.
Yeah,
what-
that's
what
old
they
hat,
did.
Andrew.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
you-
Yeah,
you
they
wanna-
were pretty
It's
innovative.
Jackass 3D at that point. We've got to push the boundaries.
And they did. Push the boundaries, they did.
So we're cutting back to the sheriff of Nottingham, who is Alan Rickman, who's great in this movie. Kind of on and off is getting like upset with Loxley. He's got this old witch in his service.
This is a great sequence where this old woman like brings out an egg and opens it, and it's cracks it open. It's all full of blood.
What is
throws it on a
blood
plate.
egg? I almost threw up.
And then she throws down a bunch of dominoes that don't even look like they're not like mystic little
Where's-
things. They're just
where?
like, you know, dominoes.
Where's my blood egg? Is it under my rubber snake?
I
No.
really thought that this character was played by Carol Kane for
Yeah.
like 25 minutes.
I think it's Tracy Ullman in the Men in Tights version.
Yes,
Better
it is.
actress.
Yes.
Playing latrine.
Latrine. Oh my God! Wow.
Means shithouse.
wow,
There
dude,
are
it's
there
coming
are
back to
there
me.
are funny moments in that movie, but damn, that is the most dated of the Mel Brooks movies. And
By far.
yeah.
It's tough. I have a real like love-hate relationship with Mel Brooks because
Sure.
like I really love the producers. High Anxiety, I think, is amazing, but like as the shit goes on,
It gets
it's just it's not for me. I
Sure.
know tons of people love it.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. And Prince of Thieves just happened to not hold up for me.
Men in
Men in
Tights.
Tights.
Or yeah. Well, this the one time I saw it, it didn't hold up for me. But yeah, Men in Tights didn't hold up. And I'll say honestly, I'll admit it here on the air. I'll probably take a lot of shit for it. While I was amused, the last time I rewatched Spaceballs, I was laughing at parts,
Yeah.
but the whole I was like, it could be a sketch.
Yeah.
You know,
that's fair.
and I felt terrible because as a kid I fucking loved Spaceballs, but like it could be
I
a
think
sketch.
I like Spaceballs, but yes, it could be a sketch. I think this is when the era of Mel Brooks became a thing. When I heard about this once, I don't know if it's a verified fact, Verit or whatever, but
Could it be fake
there
news?
it could be
I'll
fake
get
news.
Peter Dow on
but
it.
there was a rumor.
Uh-huh.
No way. There was there was talk about Mel Brooks in those later eras.
Yeah.
would eras.
Maybe they were errors actually.
He would compile
Era.
they would do a script and it would be like 400, 500 pages. And they would send it out to everyone and people would mark the jokes they thought were funny. And then they would
Oh.
edit back from that.
Oh, weird.
That's a
So-
weird way to write a screenplay.
Yeah.
I
so
could,
that-
oh fuck! I got to read this 500-page Mel Brooks
might
script
be-
that I have to cut down to 200.
I might be exaggerating,
No, no, yeah,
but I
but
think
yeah,
that might
yeah.
be part of the problem.
Well,
is they were
some of
looking
that-
for jokes per minute, not necessarily a good
Well,
narrative
and also,
structure like
right.
you had in his earlier films.
Or like Young Frankenstein is one thing.
Young
That's
Frankenstein I
gold
still think is
standard.
great.
It's excellent,
Yes.
and that's a real parody, but it's also like doing a lot of other stuff narratively. The later stuff just turned into Mad Magazine. It's like, oh,
Yes.
she's it's a
which
beat
is the
for beat,
joke
whatever the
per
movie
minute
is.
type
Yes,
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird though, because then I also started thinking, and I'm thinking of it now, but I thought of it at the time when I was going back through Men in Tights. Like, did the whole scary movie boom end forward
Yeah.
ruin like the good spoof stuff?
Oh, sure, yeah, I did.
You know?
but I mean that wasn't that. This is before.
No, I know, but that's what, like the fact that I listen. I watched fucking 5 of those scary movies in
Woof.
theaters. Like, I wondered if it was a thing where I had just so turned on the concept of a spoof that
Yeah.
by the time I went back to Men in
Oh, I see
Tights,
what you're
I was
saying.
like, no,
I would
fuck
say
this, like all the rest
yes
of it.
and no, because by the time Men in Tights came out, I think Mel Brooks was really trying to tap into like the cultural zeitgeist and being like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's 94 or whenever I'm making this movie.
Right.
So obviously I have to make this kid who we just talked about, who was chased by Michael Wincott.
Yeah.
Wolf.
We have to make that kid a parody now of Home Alone.
Oh, right.
Because that
shit.
is
Yeah,
what's
you're
going
right.
on.
You're totally
in
right.
Pop culture at the and it ruins those movies because it's too much. Keep your pop culture
Because-
spoof contained to Robin
Because
Hood.
then you are genuinely doing the Mad Magazine stuff.
Well, and that's
like,
the thing. Like, you need Eric. I think you're right. It's like the idea of like jokes per minute. JPM, by the way,
Oh, okay. That's the metric.
totally overtook like any kind of story. Like High Anxiety is a spoof of like Hitchcock thrillers and shit like
Yeah.
that. It's mainly like a North by Northwest spoof, but it still has like a story to it.
Silent movie, the same thing.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I think like he just took Prince of Thieves the movie,
Yeah,
and just like every scene he watched on video, he then made a joke about what could the parody version of it be.
Yeah.
And it totally just doesn't hold up, even though I have seen that movie like 50 times.
Sure.
Anyway, I totally derailed all of this. But
That's all right.
back
it's
with
a-
Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, it's a boring movie. Don't worry about it.
So I mean, like, he winds up getting in with the merry men. We have like one scene of like actually giving the poor bread, but he starts like robbing people now, robbing hoods, and they say at one point, like, I think Nottingham is like, he stole $4 million worth of gold. Like, $3 million? What are we talking
$1 million, and also earlier in the film, we were 5 miles from Castle Watson.
Wait, I'm sorry. We said miles and someone said dollars? Is that true?
Well, I don't know.
Something
No,
like
he
that.
says 3 million gold, 3 million gold pieces or whatever the fuck.
If that's what he's stealing and hoarding, those fucking tree houses should look way better.
exactly, or give it to the people next door. Let them fucking go
Right.
on vacation.
Well, no.
Make all of the huts gold.
No, the thing is, Steve, if you give the gold to the poor, then suddenly they're going out buying these fur coats. I told you not to buy a fucking car. What are you doing?
No, you're gonna give a handout to the poor, okay? And they're gonna go out. They're gonna buy things they don't need, like cellular telephones. Why does an unemployed person need a smartphone?
Why does an unemployed person need a toilet in their house? All right, I didn't have a toilet in my house until I got a promotion.
Wait, now these people are thinking they can eat off of plates. You know what? You don't have the money. Eat off your hand.
You're here, you're telling me that they want floors. Floors in their houses.
Robbing a welfare.
Unbelievable.
Slippery slope. First they're asking for floors. Now they need doors. What does a poor person need a door on their house for? No one wants your stuff.
And
I gotta pay taxes for your doors.
nobody's here asking why ceilings are necessary. Nobody's talking about it. But my friends on the QAnon board have told me that I can ask about ceilings now.
I'm also against roads and public schooling.
I shouldn't pay for it. That's right.
I am against funding the police, but they are saints and I worship them.
I work all day gathering hay. Or whatever it is I do. Or making little leather hats. I spend all day making little leather hats. And this person doesn't make little leather hats.
I also mine Bitcoin and donate it to QAnon's GoFundMe.
Lord Q of Non.
Oh man, Q of Loxley. There
We
it
are
is.
bringing back the little leather hat business.
And I promise you, every criminal will be covered in cum and stuck in a birdcage.
We're all gonna look like we're wearing a bunch of bed sheets.
You're living in the woods again. You're living in the woods. You're living in the woods. I'm gonna live in Trump Tower and you're gonna live in the woods.
4 more years. So yeah, there's a kind of a montage of them getting good at it.
There's a little bit of, well, here's the thing. It's like we are fucking killing time here because there is a robbing, like first there's a training montage.
Sure.
Because he's like, I got to train you to, because Morgan Freeman very rightly is like, these are just a bunch of buffoons.
There's a bunch of hobos.
They're not warriors. They're just homeless people. And Robin Hood is like, well, hey, man, I am going to fucking turn this army of homeless people into my band of merry men, and they're going to be soldiers that rob from the rich.
Sure.
So we have a training montage for that.
Which
they
is
get good at it
fantastic.
instantly.
I love this. This montage makes the movie for me because we're making arrows. Very important to me.
Well-
So showing like the metal get poured into the little
Yep.
things to make the arrowheads. I love it.
How but here, you know what? You got Bryan Adams on the phone already.
Yep.
Get like a montage
Yeah,
song
let's do it.
from Bryan Adams.
sword I make it for you. Well, that's the other thing that was weird, though. Did you see this fucking, we're making swords on wholesale?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Like, we're making, like, the arrowheads and whatever. That's totally fine. But all of a sudden, they drop down like a fucking 6-pack of swords.
Well, it's also like, what mine did they find all
Or
this metal from?
Are they, are they buying the materials or
I
are they
see.
buying the swords? From,
Gotcha.
that's where that money goes.
Oh,
my big-
shit.
We're not talking about the most technologically interesting part of this movie,
Robin Hood's walking around with that laser gun.
The
which
fa-
is
Morgan-
arrow cam.
Oh, shit,
Air-
yes.
you got to talk about arrow cam.
I love Aerocam. Big fan of Aerocam.
Here's the thing.
This was later used again in Army of Darkness, I think was kind of cribbed from this.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that. Wait, so Army of Darkness is after this movie?
I think it's 93.
Yes, I think you're right. Oh, fuck. That's weird.
That is bizarre, eh?
I just consider
Well-
Army of Darkness to be much older, but yeah, I think you're
To
right.
his credit,
Oh,
Sam
shit.
Raimi with the Evil Dead POV,
He was doing
kind of
similar
invented it, and then you just put an arrow in front of the camera,
Right.
which I still think is great.
Army of
Aerocam.
Darkness 92.
Oh, so yeah, so maybe it didn't influence either because they were probably co-current production.
My beef with the Aerocam, though.
What?
You listen, no,
All right,
it's
I'm just-
pro Aerocam.
Get out of your own house.
Yeah, seriously, dude, fuck you.
It is a pro Aerocam beef, you fucking heathens.
How come-
Listen to me.
Okay, what is it? Hitting a beef? Hitting a cow?
I'm gonna fucking hit a cow in a second.
You're gonna turn this car around.
No, I just think if you have this rad thing, I think that they said something like it was like 400 frames per second, whatever it was to execute it. I need Aerocam out the ass.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
need you at every chance you get to Aerocam it, man, because it's really fucking cool.
I need the
No.
last shot of it being like it's Alan Rickman's mouth, and he's like, ah, and an arrow goes right in.
Dude,
there.
it's just they stole that fucking your dream shot. They stole it for the Coneheads movie.
Oh, okay.
That like the Dan Aykroyd like ah! like that, but with an arrow going in Alan Rickman's mouth. It would have been awesome.
But
Yeah.
you
See?
zap it up.
Pro Aerocam.
Okay,
See?
okay, maybe you get one more, but don't zap it of its magic.
That's true. Yeah, I think two. You can
Oh,
bookend the movie in
yeah,
arrow
yeah,
cam.
you're right.
You got to spare.
Fuck,
spare.
I just loved it so much though. It was so cool.
We do get another glorious arrow shot at the end of the movie, which is glorious. So whatever. We're stealing from the rich. We're not giving to the poor.
Not yet.
And we've got some really apparently. Alan Rickman brought in his own writers. Did anyone else see this? Like,
Yes.
he brought in his
No.
own writers to punch up his Nottingham dialogue.
Wow.
And that's where like you get a lot of this like weird like he's a lecherous creep. Like he's got like at one point he walks past two women. He's like, I'll see you at 10:30. I'll see you at 10:45. Bring a friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like that kind of stuff. He does a lot of punch up stuff.
On top of the which, we're introduced to him getting his own bust of himself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Made, or is it a whole statue?
It's a whole
statue. It's a whole
Whole
statue.
statue of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then later somebody, because Robin scars him,
Right.
and,
Which-
and they draw a scar on it.
We
Yeah.
should quickly talk about that sequence. Robin goes to visit the priest who was in good with his old man, and
Right.
the priest is like, no, dude, man, your fucking father was like a devil worshiper. Like, your whole family fucking sucks now. And Robin's like, you lie.
Yeah.
And then he goes to leave, and he opens the door, and the sheriff of Nottingham and the bad guy from The Crow are there.
Yes.
And that's when he slices his cheek.
Yes.
And where we also get another amazing Alan Rickman line of "I'll cut your heart out with a spoon,"
Which is fantastic.
Pretty great.
And
because it would
Wincott is
hurt more. Right?
Wincott's like, why'd you say spoon? Wouldn't you use an accent? It's Dal, you cretin. I love everything about Rickman. And in watching Rickman in this, A, you remember he's dead, which sucks. And B, you realize, or I've been realizing, he we are robbed of old man Alan Rickman, like old
Yep.
man roles. Like
Yeah.
they're
Like a statesman.
there's
Yeah.
like 10 to 15 more years of his career of like doing all the old John Hurt roles that you would see, like
Yeah.
Yep.
That would
Tinker
be
Tailor.
amazing.
that kind of stuff.
I would even watch an Alan Rickman Dirty Grandpa. To
Of
have
course
him
I
back
would.
here.
Without
To have him back
question.
here.
Oh
That's what-
no, someone put Viagra in my tea and I have an erection.
How are we going to take care of this boner?
Zac Efron, pass me the lube.
Can't be doing a number 3.
It's kind of rad though, because as Steve showed me on YouTube today, this is apparently, not apparently, it definitely is. I watched video evidence of it, a BAFTA winning performance.
Yes, he won, and he's like, well, this will let me know that subtlety isn't everything, and the whole
fucking
room
crowd
loses it.
Dude, they go ape shit. And I was like, yep, everyone in that room knew you were a maniac in this movie, and it's awesome. But it was what I noticed too. They don't air it here.
Sure.
We've never been privy to watching a BAFTA broadcast.
No.
And our UK listeners, I know there's an army of you out there. Let us know if this still is the case with not only the BAFTAs, but much live broadcast.
Sure.
The fucking color commentary from these people that were like announcing this thing. So the whole thing is like Helen Mirren gives him this award. And then as he's making his way up to the front, they're fucking playing the score from Robin Hood. And some dude is just casually, like some drive time radio announcer, is like, all right, Alan Rickman there, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and we all know he got famous. He was in Die Hard with Bruce Willis. It's the fucking funniest, like most casual announcing of all time, and I was like, "Fuck, that is so much better than the Oscars." Like the last time she was on stage, she won for. It's always like so self-serious.
I totally agree. It should be more like a sports commentary for the Oscars. Like we're doing like a golf thing, you know? Like,
Ooh, this is Alan's 7th BAFTA. He lost 3, so he's 0 for 5 on BAFTA.
No, I say go bigger. Yeah, this is Emma Stone's 3rd time getting up here on this stage. She was great. With oh my god,
what was the fucking movie?
name?
I loved it. I loved that fucking
Mr.
movie.
Astronaut. Holy fuck. Ryan Gosling. Fuck yeah, Ryan Gosling.
The Oscars are now 6 hours long. We are cutting the following categories: Best Director, Best Cinematographer. Best Picture is now gone.
Fucking Aloha was amazing.
Do you remember Bill Murray in that movie Genius?
serious question. Has anyone seen Aloha?
No, I have.
No.
I
Is
did
Bill
not.
Murray actually in it?
Yeah, he is.
What's he doing?
He's
Is he wearing a neck brace like in Wild Thing?
Or
No, he's
is he an Asian American as well?
No, he's
Oh,
not.
that's nice. One of the things that Alan Rickman
All
says
right.
in this, he's getting frustrated with this montage, you know.
He's so frustrated, dude. People are stealing from him.
He's like, all right, you know what? If they love him so much, do this, do that, and we're canceling Christmas.
Yes.
Which is I want a whole series. I want to watch that whole sequence.
ad-libbed line, apparently.
Yeah, but I want to see it.
This movie needs to be 5 hours long because I need to I need to see everything that is Nottingham surviving a December without a Christmas. Like them policing it.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Get that tree out of here. You know?
Eric, you know how to make gifts. Make me a gif of that, of him saying we're canceling Christmas.
I will get right on top of that.
Thank you.
My favorite Alan Rickman line is somewhere around here. He's fucking yelling because they're trying to. I think it's around the face cutting, and he's trying to like trap Robin Hood like in whatever fucking castle compound he's in or whatever. And he's like trying to order the gate to be closed, and he just goes, "Close the gate!"
Yeah,
It's such an awesome delivery. This dude was having a great time and simultaneously not giving a flying fuck about this movie.
Exactly.
And that's the way you play the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Well, he turned the roll down like 4 times and said, if you let me do this, I'm going to do exactly what I want the entire time. And he's like, all right, sure.
And that should have been the thing like every time. Like Alan Rickman, you want Alan Rickman in your movie? Yeah,
Sure.
dude, do whatever you fucking want.
So
Kevin Costner's going to cut you out anyways.
We are introduced to Friar Tucker
Yes,
in this
that's the
point.
movie.
where
Oh, yeah.
Michael McShane.
He's transporting a bunch of wine through the haunted forest.
Dude, this is
for-
beer. He's a beer brewing monk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's beer.
Okay.
I guarantee you it's beer.
Right. Oh, you know what I'm confusing
He's
it with?
literally giving a lecture about beer later in the movie.
I am confusing it with the rabbi in
my
Men
God.
in Tights.
No, I cannot do 20 more minutes on Men in Tights.
The
I can't do it.
sacramental
I
wine.
cannot do it.
We'll bless it all till we get for schnicken.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's beer.
It's beer.
And he refuses to give up any of the barrels leading to this fight, which I think it's just funny.
It's a
that
fucking great fight.
Exactly. And
McShane's a lot of fun in this movie.
is this another nerd trauma? What happens?
No, he fucking kicks Kevin Costner in the face, which is pretty awesome.
Great. If you get an opportunity to do it, kick him in the face.
The original Whose Line Is It Anyway? Michael McShane was on that. He was like the American guy.
Yes, that's right. And he was also FDR, Kramer's buddy, Franklin Delano Romanowski on Seinfeld.
He's fleeing from the kickening, and he gets hit by a branch while he's gloating about his victory. It's fantastic.
I had some beef with this shot. Sorry, Kevin, but I had some beef
Really?
with this shot
Why, 'cause
because
he's not paralyzed.
no, because you can see the take that they used. You can see the actor very quickly look like, oh, where is it? Am I close to it? Do I have to fake getting hit in the head now? Like they totally used a bad take.
Sure.
What were you saying, Kevin? Sorry.
Well, this is after Michael Wincott once again is bested.
Oh, right.
By Robin Hood, like two drunks that Robin Hood got, doped up first, and they ran out in front of him, and Michael Wincott went chase.
Yeah.
And then they're off in nowhere's land, and they took.
How do I use this arrow?
Oh man, Robin Hood told me I'd get some bread if I just stood in the middle of the road and got kicked by a mule.
Just strap the tree to my back, and I'll go over the hill alone. Okay?
Hey, man, I could use floors too, man.
Did you know that the sheriff talks to a witch?
Yeah, I heard it, man. I was like, who are you talking to, Sheriff? And he was like, a witch.
So the friar becomes part of their posse. At this point, I forget. No, that's right. At some point, Christian Slater tries to kill Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's got some beef with him.
He's like, he's mouthing off to him the whole time. Christian Slater takes a knife out of the back of his shirt. He's about to throw it in the back of Robin's head. Robin shoots an arrow through Slater's hand.
Amazing.
Which I think that's the end of your hand, right? Like he's
as far as I've seen,
he's not Will Scarlet. He is Stumpy Will from now on. Like it's just.
You would probably have to cut it off back in those days. But
whistling whole Will.
Totally.
It is revealed that there's this lineage that was unbeknownst to us wherein Papa Loxley gone around.
Yeah, that dude got down to fucking.
So Will Scarlet is the brother, the half brother to Robin of Loxley.
It's true.
So there's this brothers rivalry,
and he fucked Duncan too.
Oh, really? Fuck Duncan?
Yeah.
And his fucking empty eye hole?
And they took turns pissing in the bitch's ocular cavities. This way to the cafeteria. Now that is a Phil Hartman quote.
Yes.
It's not me saying the B word with regard to
Phil Hartman.
Another person fucking gone before their time.
Oh, of course.
Man, time is a cruel mistress. I'll tell you what. By the way,
Duncan.
One of those
just wait, man. One of us is going to be dead soon.
Guaranteed. It's just math, everybody. One of those fucking drunk dudes that he's paying to stand in the forest or whatever is the dude who played the Artful Dodger in that Carol Reed Oliver from the late 60s.
Whoa.
This actor, Jack Wilde, dude had a troubled life, man. Real booze hound.
Oh,
that
really?
guy. Yeah. Oh, big time. But he was also apparently a big singer.
Oh, good for him.
And had a fucking multi-million-dollar deal for records and shit, but then he just died penniless.
That's how that goes.
Hopeful news here on We Hate Movies.
Yeah,
who's dead? Who died penniless? So Maid Marian. This is around the time Maid Marian shows up. This is when we find out that story about how they're married, or how Loxley fucked around and he has a half brother somewhere. Dot 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 dot.
Right. We'll let that linger for a little bit.
That reveal doesn't come out till at the back end of this.
So in Act 15, there's a siege. Wincott gets murdered because he fails he fails.
The sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah,
Sheriff.
it's like a Darth Vader move, right? He
Yes.
just takes out his own man.
And he's like, "Yo, I'll get the Celts to help me," and he does. And they burn down the fucking forest, that's the move first and foremost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. All of these shacks are made with fucking hay and kindling. Let's burn it, dude.
Can I tell you, I had the strongest memory of everybody dying in this fire. I had the strongest memory of other than Little John, Will Scarlet, and maybe 3 or 4
So
other
Maid
people.
Marian's on fire. No, Robin.
Little John's wife and their kids.
I
Fanny.
wish.
I had and I was like, man, Robin Hood Prince of Thieves is a fucking brutal movie.
Kevin, do you think it was because your mother fucking hated this movie, and when that fire happened, she would just turn the tape off? Well, everyone's dead. That's the end of the movie.
no, we do have to sort of talk about the birth scene, because if there is 20 minutes to cut out of this movie, it's actually when Maid Marian shows up to the camp. They're having a nice time. They're having dinner. And Little John's wife is like, "Oops, I'm pregnant. Oops, I'm about to give birth."
When the shit did Fanny get knocked up? And this was the thing that I was like, how much time
Great
is
question.
passing in these woods?
Well, the things I just don't think she noticed she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, she's like an A&E special.
Exactly.
But they bring Morgan Freeman, and why do the Ewok shaman's right there, isn't he? Then,
But it's
what
crazy
I
Well,
mean?
this is all made to show everyone acts like Morgan Freeman's a savage because
Right.
of his religion
Yeah.
and this and that. And they were like, don't let him touch her because he's going to kill her and the baby, which he probably would have. But because the science involved, he gives a C-section or
He's
something.
aware of cesarean sections. Absolutely.
Well, he can mind meld with the child as well. He's
That was a weird. He just gently places his hand on this woman's stomach and is like, Fanny, I have some bad news. Your child is cursed. And it's not going to come out naturally. It's going to need some help. Now, I also have the mind of a medical doctor from hundreds of years from now.
oh my, it will be a fat boy.
The good news about that kid, though, is he's the only one that can kill Macbeth. Not of a woman born.
Oh, shit, dude. Steve Sadak with the fucking literary references. Killing it.
Thank you.
So somehow they don't kill it.
They
and
don't
the
kill it.
baby comes out.
They send Jory Orbach back. They're like, no. Cancel that abortion.
My Lord.
Anybody else see Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, we know what you're talking
All
about.
right, just but no. So yeah, he saves the baby. Everybody loves him, and everybody's having fun. Then the next day or something, the big fire happens.
This big siege. And I got to tell you, how about the element of surprise? Mm-hmm. Let's wait till all these little Ewoks are asleep. And
Yeah,
fucking
that's
set,
the move. Burn them
And
alive.
what you do, by the way, you set the fucking...
Ewoks.
They're Ewoks, man. They're
Yeah.
living in these Ewok trees. You fucking set the tree on fire from the base.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then it just crawls up the tree. It would be awesome. Instead, they just come in hooting and hollering with all these fucking Celts behind them.
Well, they hoot and holler, they beat them all, and then Robin's fucking grab asses, we did it. And then he sees all these flaming arrows. He goes, "My God!"
Oh, right.
Which is kind of a great reaction of "Oh, that's right, it's all straw back
I
there."
forgot fire existed.
Should have shelled out for some stronger roofs.
Oh, right. The 300 other soldiers that were behind those soldiers that I saw before because I'm an idiot.
Then the Robin Hood's brother, 3 towns over, in a brick palace, is like,
And now the Death Star that is these flaming arrows is finally in, it's reached Yavin 4, but it actually does hit and it destroys it.
"You will see the full power of these fire arrows."
Dantooine won't make an efficient demonstration of the power of these arrows.
When the fucking the wife, Little John's wife, and
Yes.
the baby are slow motion going across, swinging across.
Sure.
I had it in my mind that they didn't make it.
They
They
should
just
have.
fell
I
to
love-
their death right there.
I love the idea. It's summer 1991. "Oh, did you see that new Robin Hood movie?" "Oh, yeah, I did. Everybody dies in that one." "Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I love that movie."
Remember the scene, the woman gives birth, it was a troubled process, and then the next day a Celt bangs it against a wall.
No, Eric, it fell to its death I said that.
Oh, yeah.
What were
crispy critters?
oh, big time. What we're neglecting to mention here, and we have to talk about it because it is, for my money, the sexiest moment of 1991.
Oh, well, of course, I know where we're going.
So Maid Marian and her, lady friend are coming to the compound. And the dude is like, no, you can't go back there. Robin, she's coming.
Robin, we've got visitors.
And we cut, and Kevin Costner is fucking nude swimming in this lagoon.
You get this little flat butt.
Dude, it is fucking a one-way ticket to Cheektown. It's awesome.
It's barely cheeks.
It's crazy too because you'd think Robin Hood wouldn't have that distinct like shorts outline or whatever.
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
really good.
tan
Like
lines
that chalk white buttock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird.
That is the whitest ass, dude. It was reflecting light back into the camera.
It was crazy.
Lens flares.
My
happening.
TV got fucked up for a
It's
second.
insane. You had to adjust the fucking white balance.
It would be great if she's looking. It's like, oh my god, look at Robin and his chaste white ass, and she looks over and some guy with like a fucking 2-foot dick is jerking off, and she's like, "Oh wow, that guy's got really something over there."
Wow, what a camp they've set up here.
It's Long Peter, right?
It's like, oh yeah, hey Marian,
I got next.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, hey, Maid Marian. Yes, I've made a utopia of criminals and sex perverts.
Somewhere around here, Maid Marian attempts to mail a letter, but then even the post office is crooked.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think everybody figures out that she's in on it, and they kidnap her because it's the movie.
She's sending a letter to Richard the Lionheart, letting him know the score.
Care of the Crusades, by the way. P.O. Box the Crusades.
Yeah, they'll all have been dead for 6 years by the time that thing gets
Dig
there.
through a few miles of horse entrails and human bodies, and then get to this letter.
So, so that gets intercepted. Whatever. She gets kidnapped, and
A lot of like all like the merry men are round up.
Round up,
and
yeah,
they're going to be taken to this public execution.
including the kid from the earlier in the movie is about to be hung, which plus there. That's a bonus.
It's a good thing.
And Christian Slater is like, oh, you don't have to hang me. I will get you Robin Hood.
Right.
Because I'm going to turn on him.
Right, he's a
Turncoat.
Turncloak.
Well done.
And this kind of comes to
Credit
nothing.
to
He just,
George R. R. Martin.
this is when we find out that they're brothers. Like he's like, hey, by the way, we're brothers, and somebody goes, oh my god, they were roommates. Like, I don't know. What does it matter?
Well, they
it's
were
funny.
roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Because fucking Robin Hood is so offended right here
Yeah.
because Christian Slater is like, hey man, so your dad fucked my mom and
Do you know with a bad British accent, please?
I was doing actually Christian Slater. He should be fucking simultaneously living in Southern California and
Well,
sweeping
it
chimneys in
feels like
ye old London
It
town.
feels like everyone was like halfway to maybe I'll try one, and then everyone gave up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It'd be
in the
great if they
middle of
just
scenes.
didn't do it. Just
Yes.
don't do it.
Mhm.
Just don't.
But you got to make up your mind, though.
Yeah.
Well, one or the other, man.
I'm sorry, so he's indignant. I apologize. I stepped on
Well,
you.
oh no, he's just like, no, he's like, my fucking father didn't stray from my mind. He just starts going at it.
Well-
But then Will Scarlett's just like, no, it totally happened. And
Yeah.
fucking
Also,
Robin,
he was a devil worshiper too.
No,
Stop
he
saying that.
no, he knew about it. Earlier, there's this
Yes,
scene
yeah.
with Mary
he tells her
Elizabeth
the whole thing.
Mastriani, where he's like, I was a complete piece of shit.
Yes.
My dad, after my mom
yeah.
died, my dad took up with a woman for a little while.
Yeah,
and
but he
I
fucking-
lost my shit.
he gets in a huff about it though, right here, Kevin. He fucking grabs Will Scarlet by the shirt collar.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You ruined my life," which is a really good line.
Yeah,
And
you know,
then
technically, as the firstborn son, Robin should have stayed behind to inherit the castle, and Robin, as the second-born son,
Will Scarlet.
Yes, sorry, Will Scarlet, as the second-born son, should
Right.
have gone to the Crusades because
Doesn't
that
he go
was
to the-
tradition at the time.
But doesn't he go to the Crusades to like prove he's not an asshole?
Robin? I guess so.
yeah, because he's
Wasn't-
pissed off at his dad.
yeah.
Well, because the whole
It's a
movie, Christian
rebellious act.
Slater's like, oh, little rich boy over. He keeps calling him rich boy throughout
Yeah.
the
But
whole
I
movie.
believe there was a thing like if you didn't have a land inheritance and you were a noble, you went to the Crusades
Got it.
because then you'd claim land in the Holy Land,
Gotcha.
Oh shit!
build a castle.
You're building condos over there.
Exactly.
What
It was
about bone spurs? Where does that land you?
Then you just buy.
You
You,
could
build
become-
shitty hotels no one wants to.
You could
stay
become crusader in chief then.
By the way, the blind old eyes sewn shut Duncan just dies in that.
He dies
battle.
like 4 times in this movie. Like every this shriveled old prune of an old man.
I'm dying again.
Like they just throw this guy on horses and all sorts
Oh
of
yeah,
shit.
by the way,
what
we
was
didn't
that
mention
part?
that dude fucking led
Yes.
the cops to this fucking hideout in the woods.
But what was that whole thing? Why was that dude there? Why did he leave the fucking forest in the first
Because
place?
we're getting our timeline messed up because I think Mary Stuart Mastrantonio gets, or Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio gets arrested
Yeah.
by the guy, and Duncan witnesses it.
Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Yeah, they let Duncan believe that
Yes.
they didn't see him, but
And-
dude's blind and they definitely fucking saw you like 7 times and they just follow him.
It'd be great if they cut his ears off too. Like they just get this old man sense by
Jesus.
sense.
It's kind of
They
a fucking,
took me nose, Master Rob. It's like, dude, just fucking kill him.
dude.
I'm
It was a
sorry.
part of the movie though where I kind of was like,
Yeah.
because he gets on this horse,
Yeah.
and he's blind as fuck, and he's just like, "All right, old friend, you're my eyes
Yeah.
now." And I was like, "Oh my fucking god! I really hope this old man dies soon because if I fucking cry in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, there's gonna be trouble."
What if he went off a cliff?
Oh, dude, it would have been only the second greatest horse suicide in cinema history.
I didn't know I had a suicidal horse. Well, today was the day I was going to die, old man, and you have to be here with it.
Yeah, that whole thing about because for like half a second in this
Yeah.
movie, you think that Will Scarlet is crooked.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But then they just do that brother thing and it's fucking over with immediately. So then we launch into like the third act of the movie, which is like, we're going to do this plan. We're going to raid Nottingham Castle.
Sure.
We're going to save all of our buddies that are about to be hung. Even old Little John's boy, he's getting hung.
We're gonna save the rec center. We're gonna do it all.
That's right. It's like Texas. We execute children here.
Morgan Freeman is like a pig in shit because he's like experimenting with gunpowder.
Yeah.
And Friar Tuck thinks it's like the funniest fucking thing he's ever seen. Like Morgan Freeman's like, and then it goes boom. And this fucking huge fat guy is like, oh, do it again. It's a gift from God.
So, this is like the big last set piece, which is pretty good.
It's awesome.
I
The
love
last
what-
like half hour of this movie is
When
good.
they sneak into this castle, it's amazing because Robin is like in these robes pretending to be like a hobo and he covers himself in shit.
Yep.
Picks up clumps of shit off the road and wipes it on him.
I was really impressed, dude, because these were some fresh turds. Did you notice
Yeah,
this?
they were.
Like,
yeah, dude, steaming, dude.
Is this your
steaming
ideal
shit.
wardrobe, Eric?
Yes, this is great. And then also great wardrobe is Morgan Freeman's in all these white linen rags pretending to be a leper that's
yeah.
being taken in by the friar.
Which
with
is
the
very
friar.
smart right here because clearly if they saw a black guy running around,
They're like,
well,
hey,
there's going to be trouble at Nottingham Castle.
Double smart. The friar's like, "Hey, free booze for the win! How
Yeah.
about that, everybody?" And
That's
they
true.
still get him.
So they're lining all these people get up to get hung, even including children. It's like the beginning of that last Pirates movie, or the third Pirates movie now. Remember the beginning of that third Pirates movie? They're hanging all those kids?
No.
It all
No.
bleeds
Yeah.
together at this point.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Chow Yun Fat?
I don't even remember. Probably.
Because if that's the one, me and Cabin saw that in theaters.
I was there with you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right.
I think that is the third one.
Do you
there.
remember that time I took a fucking hearty nap during that movie?
So
I remember it was nothing. Wait, so they're hanging kids in that movie?
in the beginning of the movie, it's like there's a new order, no pirates allowed. They start hanging kids.
Fuck,
Did
I
you
better go
hear-
back.
Did you hear about this remake talk already?
Come on.
Remaking
No.
the Pirates of the
Let it
Caribbean.
be.
Remaking a movie that came out in 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
just like, let me die. Just let me
Master,
die.
just lash me to a horse, Master Robin. and let me go.
Wait, so is it supposed to be a thing where like someone else will play a Jack Sparrow
I believe
character?
so.
I think we're just
I
trying to
don't know.
rewrite history without Johnny Depp, which isn't the worst instinct we've ever had.
Make
Was anyone seeing those movies at the end of that?
no.
Because it was like what, On Stranger
Ooh,
Tides, and
nobody in America. was.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
then
shit.
somebody has to tell the Chinese to stop going to the movies. I have to hear about the Chinese box office and all these fucking trash American movies that do
Well,
so well over there.
I think our podcast is banned there. So
We're not. Yeah. So all these people are lining up. They're getting ready. This is a great part. So like, Christian Slater gets found and he gets thrown on the gallows as well.
Because of the kid.
Yeah, the kid's like, you traitor. He's like fighting him or whatever.
God damn you, little bastard.
My favorite line of the whole movie is like the kid, like, you know, is getting roughed up by these centurions or whatever, or knights.
Centurion.
I got my
Jesus Christ is being hung next to him.
but they put him on a peg and they're about to hang him.
Right.
And like this guy next to him, oh, he's just but a boy. And he looks at this kid with a noose. He's got a noose around his neck. He looks to his right to a child who also has a noose around his neck. He's like, he's just a boy. You all right? It's like, yes. Yeah, I'm doing,
All right. Are
yeah,
you all right?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fucking the best day of my life. This is about to be hung as a child.
So when they find Slater, by the way, did anybody catch this? There's a great moment. It's totally unfortunate almost. This executioner character, like, he's like, oh, we don't have enough nooses for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tie Christian Slater to this barrel
Yeah.
and fucking decapitate him.
Sure.
And when he's tying Christian Slater to this barrel, this actor is screaming at him. And this dude
yes.
just spits in Christian Slater's face, like accidentally.
Yeah.
It's not like the character did it. The guy's just yelling and he's getting into it. And you see this lube come out of this dude's mouth and nail the slate man in the face.
There are so many great like moments of spit yelling in this movie. Like at one point they're like the cops are robbing this church and like the like peasants are like, oh no, don't do that. And he's like, well, bloody share it. And it's just like there's just spitting and the word share it. And it's just
The big priest has a lot of those shots.
Yes, a lot of
where they're
spitty
right
shit.
up in
this
it.
is how
the
people
bishop?
used to talk.
Just like spitting.
Yeah, you just spit on each other.
There's this also other element to this movie, which I only noticed watching this time. In the beginning of the movie, when like even right when he gets cut for the first time, Nottingham is like, well, we'll have to deal with Robin of Locksley within by the next full moon when the barons come and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And then like later in the movie, it's like, well, the barons are here. And there's these people. It's like the end of PCU for some reason. Like, this wedding and hanging must go off without a hitch or else everything will be ruined.
And then Christian Slater comes up and he's like, the bird show, the wonderful bird show.
The Parliament Funkadelic is going to be here in 15 minutes.
We're not going to take from the rich. We're not going to take from the rich.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you blow me where the Pampers is?
It's the Nottingham whooping crane.
Friar Tuck puts a bunch of fucking Alka-Seltzer in his mouth and then starts eating grass.
But I mean, like, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, I guess he's like trying to get funding from this. Like, we have to, because the one guy at some point is like, you call this total control?
Well,
my goodness.
I guess the idea would be they would pledge to him and
Yeah.
then they could depose the king who's
Yes,
off in a
yeah.
foreign
Right.
town.
But what's funny, though, is like the second things start going tits up, Alan Rickman just starts screaming at those dudes.
Yeah.
Because the guy, right, like Steve just said it, like, you call this total control or whatever. And he's like, oh, what the fuck do you know about it, jackass? And just starts like pushing this old man.
It's great. So yeah, I mean, Robin and his men start like laying waste to everybody. There's a lot
Fucking
of
shit up, dude.
dude. The way they're hanging these people, it's dirty, it's slow, and literally, I would kill myself the night before. Like, I need a good snap. If you're gonna hang me,
Yeah,
give
this
me-
is
No.
this
Give me
is
some-
not
the
give me
kid is dangling for the pre-frosh is dangling for a while.
boom boom doo 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 doo. This kid's just dangling while Elvis Costello's playing.
Robin
Or the
Hood.
cover of Elvis Costello.
That's
Excuse
right.
me.
Pump it up. And we get some great arrow cam again,
Yes.
where Robin is shooting at this noose, and he eventually cuts it down.
He does.
It's pretty awesome. And that was kind of a beef I had with the movie. Not a ton. I mean, like this end scene, sure, it's all over the place. Not a ton of Costner using the bow and arrow before this. And as a matter of fact, I paused it the second it first rears its head. 58 minutes before he's got a traditional bow and arrow.
58 minutes
Yeah.
before bow and arrow. No archery contest
Yes.
to be
No,
had.
yeah, nothing. Where's the trick shots?
It's a shame.
From the horse. I want one from the horse, too.
You know, like
Totally.
combine his devil worship shit into the archery contest. So it's like Alan Rickman can pull it off at the end to pull off the target.
Right.
And there's like a pentagram under there. It's like,
Oh.
oh, Loxley, you just made a spell or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
they're all just wearing like goat masks. It's like, all right, now for the orgy and archery competition.
We will fuck and shoot. And then also shoot.
And then the devil actually shows up.
Yes,
right?
get the devil in the movie.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you tell me that there's fucking devil worshipping in this movie, man, you gotta fucking lay into that.
I mean, I guess it's the witch who's just
You know,
sort of a
but whatever. Fuck the witch. I need Alan Rickman like going to one knee, like he's gonna talk to the emperor.
Yes.
And then like the devil comes out of the mist or something.
Oh my lord!
Oh, yeah.
Here you are, finally.
But poor Willem Dafoe and his fucked up ankle. All my empathy just goes there. I'm worried about him.
The witch has like nothing to do in this movie beside to talk about Morgan Freeman as being the painted man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And how she saw like the future and how she'll be killed by the painted man.
She's having nightmares about black people. We should be sympathizing with her and courting her vote.
No, dude, it's crazy because they fucking raid that castle and she's like, hello, police department? Yeah, there's a guy downstairs and I'm pretty sure he does not live in this building.
Outrageous.
Cell phone witch, man, she sucks.
But so yeah, like we're going crazy. Finally the movement is we go into a catapult. They go over the edge. Christian Slater, because it's a PG-13 movie, can go, fuck me, they cleared it. Which was, as a 8-year-old kid, I was like, oh man,
the line.
it's an F word, and I just heard it. Holy
God damn
mackerel.
it. You know what, though? Anachronistic fucking profanity.
I didn't care at the time.
You don't think
profanity.
they had fuck back then?
No.
Not that way.
I don't know. I think
Even
they
the
might have.
director said that it was out of place, but he liked it.
Yeah, he thought it was funny.
Excuse me. Was he there in 1194?
He's not a real person anyway, so he might as well have been. Sure, why not?
Kevin Costner wasn't back
Costner's
then.
like, oh yeah, sure. He's 900 years old.
But you got this young hunk Christian
just-
Slater saying the F word in a Robin Hood movie. This informed my entire life.
I'm just saying, if he's going to do that, he should also end the movie saying talk hard. If we're going to get a little weird with it, let's go full weird with it.
Oh, by the way, Little John uses his brute strength to push down the gallows.
That was pretty
cool.
badass, dude. That was a fucking Sweetums move right there.
And that's again about these gallows. Get me some fucking really well-made gallows. Hang them high, my friend.
I don't get it. You're the fucking sheriff of Nottingham, dude. Let's step up this operation.
No. But you've met him. You've seen him.
Yeah.
He's exactly the kind of guy who says, I don't know, get some drywall or something and some glue.
And this is the UK, not Texas, so they're
Right.
not obsessed with hanging.
But this is also, dude, live and learn, because this is also why you do not try to execute a mass public hanging and your wedding on the same
Yes,
day. There's
definitely.
too much to juggle.
that is way too much.
the
There's
sheriff
too
of
many
Nottingham just took too much on.
wedding planners, execution planners. It's too much.
Hey, especially it's your wedding present to your bride, apparently, you fucking
I'm gonna
weirdo.
kill all your friends.
Should mention Christian Slater is saved by Robin Hood, who shoots a flaming arrow into this executioner's face.
Oh, it's fucking
pretty
great.
good. Pretty good.
I could have used an impact shot, not
Yeah.
for nothing. Get Tom Savini in there.
And the barrel that he was going to be head chopped on is full of gunpowder, thanks to Morgan Freeman. Apparently, brought it all from the Middle East, or he took the chemistry book out of the Dodge, whatever, the Oldsmobile rather, in Army of Darkness,
That's
and figured
right.
it out. And there is an explosion
Yes.
after Christian Slater is saved from the barrel.
And then Morgan Freeman, because he realizes he's Morgan Freeman in a movie, has to give a rousing speech. They're like, oh, yeah, hey, Morgan, why don't you do that?
Because, no, and this is fucked up, dude, because all the married men are like, oh, good, they saved us. Let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, excuse me, everyone. Your leader and his half-brother and me, the lone black man in this outfit, are going to stay and fight, and you fucking cowards are running away. And then you see everybody like pause, like, oh man, Morgan Freeman's right, and they all like turn around begrudgingly and continue supporting the cause.
So we storm the castle. This is the evil priest is marrying Marion and the sheriff of Nottingham.
Right.
The witch is in full effect in this scene.
She's just dancing around, like yelling shit.
And like they all know it's going wrong, and like the idea is just, she like grabs Marion. She's like, she will give you a son, but you have to consummate now. And it's like, what?
It's
and the
so
priest
weird.
is like, they're going through this like a truncated wedding thing. Robin swings in, and like at this point, like the last 20 minutes of the movie is Alan Rickman trying to penetrate this woman. It's very
like-
bizarre.
First, you must put on these sheets with these dick holes in them.
But it's a weird, like, because the dude marries them. It's also a fucked up. It gets a little too comical right here because, like, he's asking Marion, you know, the do you take?
Yeah.
And Rickman, like, covers up her mouth and is like, she does.
Yeah, we're doing
And
a little bit of a Beetlejuice right here.
Yeah, totally. You're like, wait, what is going on? And then, yeah, he's trying to fucking whip it out and, like, do the deed.
He's like, it's a little comical for a rape scene, is what we're saying. Yeah,
Exactly. But also just, like, I don't get, like, Robin Hood can still just take her away.
Yes,
like, who
exactly.
gives a shit about you, Sheriff of Nottingham?
I guess the idea is like if he gets her pregnant, then she has to stay with him.
I guess maybe that's medieval law.
I don't know. They're going to go fucking ask Morgan Freeman to take care of it.
Alan Rickman brings out like a decrepit finger with a ring. He's like, she meant nothing to me, baby. She really didn't mean nothing to me.
And I lived through the Black Plague, had a great time during that.
Dearly beloved.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude, that guy should have come out. He was the fucking husband of the witch.
Oh my god,
That'd be awesome. What a cute couple.
they'd be adorable. So whatever. The witch goes out. She gets fucking impaled on a spear by
Morgan Freeman. We're having a little bit of a hallway fight. Morgan Freeman
Good
takes
stuff.
care of this witch.
We get spear cam a little bit, which I kind of like. She gets
Tiniest bit of spear cam.
which I'm okay
Now that's
with.
a penetration I could get behind.
And this is the big fight between Rickman and Costner. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
It's
good.
very
Although
sloppy, which I kind of like. Like
Yes.
they're just diving
This
into each other.
movie is sloppy,
it's sloppy
which is
as
nice,
fuck,
which
dude.
is what I like
A
about it.
lot of the camera movements here is just some dude with like a camera on his shoulder just running.
Dude,
it looks
feels-
so
It
shitty.
feels real. Feels like I was there.
What's fucking not real though is during this fight scene, they are hilariously tipping over multiple like marble statues
Yeah.
so easily, like they're papier mache,
dude.
which they were in real life.
They are strong dudes, man.
No,
They're fucking
they are-
lifting logs in the woods.
No, we are comically forgetting that these props are made of foam, and it's a fucking flub.
Marion helps out a little bit. She throws some hot wax on the sheriff and other
Oh,
such
Yeah,
distractions.
it's hard for him to fight with an erection that hard.
He was like, "Oh, you thought that would distract me, but my nipples can cut glass now."
Yeah, one of his nipples brushes up against Robin and cuts him. Blood everywhere.
Cuts his hand open.
I only gain power from you.
So the last action is
Also, I have to say, at the start of this fight scene, this sword fight, it is straight up Duel of the Dicks, dudes. Because it is like we're filming this shit at low angles. They're both holding these swords right at crotch level. It is Duel of the Dicks.
I
like
see your
nobody's business.
Schwartz is as big as mine.
Exactly.
Nottingham's about to do. He gets a little like he's got the thing to Robin's throat, right?
Yep.
He's like, and now you will die, Loxley.
Gotta
And he-
kill him with his father's sword, by the way.
which is great. And like you've got it. All you gotta do is push in. This dude's dead, but he has to like he raises
Makes
his
it a
arm,
grandiose
Yes,
gesture,
and
like
then-
pulling it back.
and then he gets stabbed in the heart by a dagger. Quite cowardly by Robin, I would say.
No, that's a sick move, dude.
Yeah, it was
You
his
gotta do
own
it.
dagger.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to do it. Right, yeah, it was a dagger the sheriff gave to Marion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's and then the witch bursts in for one last scare somehow.
Because it's a demon, right? Because it's got one last
There,
scare.
there are two jump scares in this movie because there's that, and then there's earlier in the film where Maid Marian's like walking around her house or something, and she's like, "Patricia, who's there?" And a fucking cat jumps out.
Oh,
I was-
right.
It's like, why do we have a cat scare in
It's like
this
the
movie?
hand.
But yeah, like this witch comes out like, and is running at Kevin Costner, and I fucking burst out laughing. Morgan Freeman runs into this room with the big scimitar and hucks it across the room, nails this witch, and like they must have used It wasn't even like a dummy. It was like a pillow with a coat on.
Oh yeah.
Because this sword hits this woman, and it just goes. The whole thing just goes flying.
She goes into the Phantom Zone. She's gone.
It is. I burst out laughing. It is so fucking hysterical.
And then we're like instantly at their wedding.
Their wedding, which is an important cameo.
Is that the same day?
No,
I think
You don't think
you
so?
gotta-
Okay.
you gotta
Are
wait
you
some
kidding me? I
time.
need to bath. Well, they don't bathe.
No,
You gotta-
Robin bathes those butt
You gotta
cheeks.
burn all these fucking bodies.
Yeah,
all
that's true.
fucking
That's
the
true.
Nottingham's
we were
fucking
burning
army.
bodies all
Yeah,
day.
that's true.
So we're in this beautiful outdoor wedding. Even though those can be expensive, by the way.
Of course.
And they're about to. The Friar Tuck's doing the. Oh, we forgot Friar Tuck is a sick kill in this movie.
Dude, Friar Tucker has
yes.
the best kill of the movie.
It's the other priest is leaving. He's trying to take all of his like ill-gotten money, and the friar's like, "Well, you love money, don't you? Better take all your money, you son of a bitch." And
And don't forget silver to pay the devil on your way to hell.
Well, he says specifically, what does it, Steve say that Catholic scholar? 30 pieces of
30
silver?
pieces
That's
of
what,
silver. Is
that's
that
what
true?
Judas,
Yeah,
that's what
That's all it
Judas
takes?
won, dude.
That's
Yeah,
all
and
it takes to get in his good graces.
yes, and he goes out, and I want impact. I think this is probably maybe an R-rated cut floating around.
Yeah.
because like you just see him go through, and then you see the aftermath. But I want to see this dude pop.
Yeah, because you can tell, though, he is specifically popped because it's like this big fat guy. You see all the robes and whatnot. All the fucking money is everywhere. It's hysterical. But then it's just like a
Yeah.
like this dude's head popped off, and it's pretty awesome. But yeah, best murder of the movie. Pushes also through stained glass,
Yes,
by the way.
it's a great scene. But the Friar Tuck is marrying them, and then it's like, if anyone here wishes to whatever,
Yep.
and then hold on 1 minute, and I'm like, I forget it every time. I forget it every single
He
time.
just happened to return at that exact moment. It is
And-
King Richard.
And this is, of course, Connery, Richard the Lionheart. But I will tell you, this is where Mel Gibson fucking wins.
You Mel Brooks.
Or Mel Brooks, excuse me. Mel Gibson don't win at nothing except he wins at being a racist that's accepted by most of society for some reason.
That's a win.
But no, Mel Brooks wins over this movie because it's fucking Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
No, you got to go Connery, man. Go
No
Connery.
way.
Well, at the time, right? Patrick Stewart was just a TV actor.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I know, but look at it now.
Connery.
One is Patrick Stewart and one hosted Lady Slap.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
I love him in this movie so much.
It's so funny.
It's just he's wearing the whole Crusades get up because he didn't have time to change from the airport, I guess.
Well,
but
he
he's all-
definitely had enough time to like polish it or like wipe off the blood.
Oh, he was polishing it. Don't
but I
worry
feel like,
about it.
well, I'm not going to wear a fucking wig. Listen, I'll wear a helmet.
I
I'll
polished,
marry
my,
this.
I polished my helmet all the way through France.
Yeah, after I wiped off the entrails and teeth.
You can polish a helmet while riding a horse. You can also polish your dick off while
It's
riding
like,
a
oh
horse.
well,
Can you?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
Zoo expert.
Okay.
No, seriously, like you can ride a horse and jerk off. I mean, it wouldn't
no,
feel good.
I don't know. You would
wouldn't
have to
feel
do,
good.
you'd have to do that side saddle though.
Yeah, I guess like a Cossack,
Yeah.
cocksack.
Yeah, because you can't the regular horse ride.
Oh,
you know,
it does pulverize it, but I feel I rode
You
a
have
horse.
to like put
I
a
ro-
pillow on the saddle.
I rode a horse once, and man, the vibrations for days. But like, if you like leaned back enough and
I
you
don't
got a
know,
sturdy
man.
ship going there,
Dude, listen, there is so much going on when you're riding a horse. The last thing I'm thinking about is jerking off.
but like if you're Richard the Lionheart and you rode a horse your whole life,
You've done
and
it
you rode
all.
You rode from basically England to Asia.
this is the height of decadence.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Hawks. I'm just riding the horse around set, jerking off for a bit.
John Wayne jerking off on a horse.
If
Definitely.
anyone jerked off while riding a horse, it was John
Absolutely
Wayne.
John
He was
Wayne.
fucking jerk. He was riding a horse in a cowboy hat, jerking off, smoking a cigarette, and eating a steak all at the same time.
Definitely.
That's goddamn America.
Montgomery Clift too.
Is that what they were searching for in that movie?
Yeah. Someone got kidnapped, but we're really searching for someone to jerk off on this horse.
Gotta find a quiet place to jerk off. It's very important. We must search.
All right, so Connery's there. He's
Yeah.
like, I need to give, like,
I
he
have to give
objects.
away the bride.
Yes, he objects unless he can give away the bride.
Right.
He kisses Marion and says, "Cousin, you look radiant," or whatever.
And then he's like, "Robin, thanks for keeping my kingdom together." And it's like what, like as if the kingdom's gonna get so much better that Richard the fucking Lionhearted is there. It's like all these poor people are like, "Yay!"
The dude was dumb enough to go to the Crusades.
Exactly. It's not like, "Oh yeah, now you got to get taxed fucking double." I took a bath on the Crusades. I'll be honest with you.
Wow, thank God you held down the fort here, Loxley. Everything would have went titch up without you.
Okay. I invoke Prima Nocta. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding.
What a cut up.
You know what, Loxley? Here's a Christmas ham. Go fuck yourself.
And then what happens here? Like they kiss, and then like Friar Tuck starts talking to the camera.
Dude,
Oh, boy.
what the fuck are we doing? You end this fucking dumbass movie with this guy talking to the camera?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, "You're still here? Go. Get out of
It
here."
is the equivalent of, so like they kiss, everyone is celebrating, we're gonna drink a lot of ale tonight,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
Gotta get peshed with the king.
And then
Well-
like this guy looks at the camera and just goes, "So what? So let's dance."
Well, Nottingham's dead. All of his people are dead.
Yeah.
The fucking sex society now must be rethought.
Oh, that's right.
And now the king and queen of that will be obviously Maid Marian and Robin Hood.
well,
Fair
actually,
enough.
sorry, I object because I have to marry my cousin. I'm royal, you see.
Well, the friar is saying like, "Hey, look away because a bunch of fucking's about to happen."
yeah.
Essentially, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? They gotta go home, don't they?"
It's so dumb.
So
Like, what a
that's the
stupid
end.
way to end that movie.
Yeah.
Talking to the camera.
Well, yeah, well,
That's a Mel Brooks move,
It's
man.
fun
Honestly.
for a little boy in the audience. It was a magical moment where the movie talked to me.
And told you
Oh, did you
not.
see this in theaters?
Maybe.
I feel like I was only seeing this.
I
on
did.
tape. I think it was tape.
I remember seeing this in
the rich
theaters.
boy over here.
I saw. Yes. I robbed a rich guy in order to buy the movie tickets.
It was you and 4 other scamps.
That's right. And one was my half brother.
Slater nowhere to be found at the end of this movie,
No.
by the way.
Presumed dead.
But no, he's hanging out with Freeman. Like they have like arms around each other. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
She's
it's like-
not even
it's-
at the altar, though, man. Didn't make fucking groomsmen status.
It's like how you
shit.
forget Wedge Antilles is on Endor at the end of Return of the Jedi. He's
Yeah,
like
you
hanging
will-
on the
you-
back with
you-
Lando.
You will forget that.
He's like, by the way, I destroyed the Death Star.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Hey.
Dude survived twice. He went up against both Death Stars. Anyway, he
How
should
many,
get a prequel movie. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to ask, though, how many independent comic lines are written about Wedge Antilles?
I don't think he's got a lot devoted to just him. I think he comes up in a lot in the old X-Wing series that's no longer canon, but he is in all. He's like a constant in a lot of these novels and stuff as like a through line. you know?
Wow.
I see him as like an intergalactic Serpico.
He's wearing a big hat.
Would anybody recommend this movie?
It's a light recommend. I have a lot of affection for this movie because I saw it so much. It is boring as sin. I actually think the first hour and 20 minutes, like the first 90 minutes are terrible. The last 40 are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Rickman's a lot of fun. And now Rickman's gone. There's not much Rickman. I give it the light key recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Rickman is great in this, but I hate this movie.
That's right.
I really, really hate this movie. I don't think it finds its tone ever.
Nope.
It's a whole Costner vanity project. It drives you nuts because everything that's good is not Costner. The race stuff is pretty weird. I do not like it, and it's boring as sin. 2 hours and 24 minutes.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is longer than Star Wars. That's
Yeah,
true.
huh?
And Steve said light recommend, and I'm going to say heavy recommend.
He's a monster.
Oh, heavy.
Yeah, go see it. It's in theaters now.
No, they're going to see the other movie if they go to
Oh
theaters
shit!
now.
No, duh, that's the wrong Robin Hood. It's on Netflix and where movies are rented.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. If I hadn't watched this for the first time in my mid-30s, I could probably see myself sticking more with you, Eric. I think, if anything, this movie is a primo hangover movie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you can fucking fall asleep at any time. It does not matter. Like,
Arrows aren't as loud as guns.
No, that's exactly right. Even a flaming catapult situation, much quieter than guns. Everybody knows the Robin Hood story, so you're not going to be lost at any point.
This is like a tequila hangover movie because you're like have to be so like I want it to be a little cold and damp. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
just
like
to be able
this
to make it
is-
through the day.
You for some reason were drinking tequila in the dead of winter. And
Yeah.
you're hungover as shit. You're leaving the windows open.
Yes,
You're in
exactly.
your underwear, nothing but a sweater, and you're just like, oh God. You are simultaneously praying to freeze to death and also trying to pay attention to reach the last 30 minutes of this movie because you know it's awesome.
Sounds like a perfect day.
That is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves from 1991, directed by Kevin, quote unquote, Reynolds. If you want more We Hate Movies, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. Rate and review the show wherever you get it. We would greatly appreciate that. And by the way, follow us on Twitter at WHM Podcast this Friday. If you are listening to this when this episode comes out, major show-altering announcement, we'll say, coming up.
Also, don't forget Patreon and new episodes up there. Full episode on How Did the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You know what? Whatever.
Shut up.
You know what? Just say whatever you want.
Peanuts Thanksgiving, Animation Damnation, and of course The Nexus, which is a podcast where we talk about Star Treks.
That is right. And as is tradition here on We Hate Movies, next week there's a new episode. So, Steve Sadak, what are we talking about?
Speaking of little rich boys, we're talking about the littlest, richest boy of them all, Richie Rich.
Oh, fuck. I got to tell you, this movie, it's going to be a time warp for me. This is another, I've seen this 1,000 times.
Wow.
We had it on tape. I believe there's a North by Northwest parody
Oh, yes,
somewhere.
there is.
Yeah, okay. That's all right. I'm remembering parts of it
He
already.
has his own McDonald's
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
definitely does.
with
dream come
indentured
true.
servants.
Dream come true? Is that what you said?
Yeah, why not?
It
That's
kind
disgusting.
of is, actually. So until next week, when dreams come true, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Chris Cabin.
Eric, Prince of Thieves.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.